Hey everyone, how's it going? So the tournament should be starting. Well, I'm not sure exactly how soon, but you'll get an announcement. So don't worry about like you're gonna miss or anything. It's not.
Yeah, it should be at about 5 minutes, I would say. Really, just got to set up the brackets here.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Tepheroth. This is Ebby, and we're kind of the last minute, the Minutemen casters, if you will. We had some other things lined up, but people bailed. So this is what we got today, and we'll be working with this. So be kind. And let's see, we got last minute check-ins, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the brackets here. So if you just want to do a little PvP rundown or whatnot, we'll probably see games popping up here shortly.
All right, Jax, you said turn my voice. All right, sure thing. All right. So I'm guessing some of you are new to PvP, some of you aren't, but I will be commentating to the best of my knowledge. I don't know the names of all the abilities, but I have a good understanding of most of the matchups and how they should function. I'm familiar with a lot of you guys and PvP, so let's see how it goes. If you have any questions, I'll answer them to my best of my knowledge. If anyone in chat seems to know better than me, then feel free to correct me. I will make mistakes.
Yep, looks like we'll just kind of take it as is. So the brackets are now randomized and up, so everybody should be able to start finding their opponents. And we'll go ahead and drop in with Katsui. Actually, I spoke with this person before, so we'll be following them for the start of the tournament once the lobby gets up. So waiting a little bit on that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put a link to the brackets in the chat, actually, so everybody can take a look and see.
These are finalized brackets.
Yeah, these are finalized brackets, so that's what we're going to be working with going forward. I see some good matchups coming up here. I'm pretty excited for a few of them. Not sure if anybody's been following the community with PvP for a little bit here, but we got some good players in here. So.
Yeah, I see some things I'm pretty excited for. I don't really have any predictions of who's going to win yet, but I do have some people in mind, but I'm not going to have any favorites, but I'll probably make a mistake and say I want X to win.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now because the game is still very new. So everyone's still figuring out the games and trying to figure out like who is good because the PvP ladder currently doesn't really reflect skill. It just reflects the amount of matches you've played. So this should be a good indication of where people stand right now.
Yeah, right now I'm guessing the people that entered are the people who really care and are very serious about it. So it's going to probably show roughly who are some of the better players. It's not just people that don't care about PvP probably didn't enter, I'm guessing, unless they really want
the free 100 cred, yeah.
100 cred? That's what can I do with 100 cred? Is that enough for a mic?
No, not quite.
It adds up with Elite. Elite, that's 130 just from being on.
I believe that adds up to about $1.
$1?
So,
I've done a lot less. I've done a lot more for $1. So, all right, volume way too low. Let me get it up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Truck Tub, thanks for the host there. I definitely appreciate that. Trying to build up community here for PvP, see if we can spark some interest for some tournaments.
All right, if the volume's still not very good, someone let me know. Again, I needed to adjust it kind of slightly. It's a little weird. I kind of have to get the mic a little closer to me. Usually my mic is, not even joking, across the room from me.
Oh, yeah. That's usually how it is. Oh, wow. The bracket gods have actually decided that the person we were going to follow gets a bye in the first round. So.
Well, free win?
Free win, yeah. Free win. Let's see if we can hop into another game.
I see there's Valkyrie versus Cat's Paw, Celia versus Yang.
Celia versus Yang. Let me see if I can find that one here. It should be labeled correctly. There's a... Oh, yeah, I see Celia versus Yang.
I'll
go ahead and hop in there.
Alright, we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty interested in this matchup. I haven't done much of this yet because I haven't played against very Cat's Paws. The people I practice with usually are not Cat's Paws, but... Oh, Katsu, easy win. Well, right now you're 1-0. So...
He'll be he's got an easy win in the first round for sure. This next one will be we'll see how he does in the next round.
Well, who's his potential next opponents?
Taking a look at the bracket, I do recognize a few people from the actual ladder there.
Oh, I see. It's
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that should be a good matchup. We'll see how he does against his first round opponent.
I'm pretty excited for some of these. A lot of the bigger names are here. I'm impressed that a lot of these people that have a lot of experience in PvE as well. Like some of these people have very good gear, and there also have a lot of PvP. So you can show that there is some gear to this, but there also is a lot of skill. The gear doesn't matter an insane amount yet.
Yeah, it's not too much right now. It does make a slight difference, but it shouldn't affect anything in a drastic way, as long as the CR difference isn't too high.
Well, I think, yeah, that's the thing. Like, most of the people probably have, I'm gonna say probably most people have like 60k at least.
Yeah, we had one late sign up, so let me just try to add him in. He said he was practicing all day, and he forgot to check in. Let's see if we can get him in there. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but we'll figure it out.
Now, Jaxie, how do you have only 19? I thought you were pretty geared, but I saw you PvP earlier. I was watching it, so you seem gear doesn't matter as much as it really should. I don't think it should matter that much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get everybody that I see people are trying to join the lobby in here, but if you're in here, this is just for spectators only. So, oh wow, he actually removed us, so we might have to cancel another game. We'll figure that out. I'm trying to Dimash. I know you messaged me. I'm gonna get you in here real fast. I'm not sure if it'll let me though, so if I can, I will. But
This is Zenkai. I know that Xpeed or Superman is in the tournament. He's pretty good. I've played against him a ton of times. His combos are down to, they're pretty refined. His stats are pretty optimized for PvP. He's decently geared, so if you want to see a good Fire Lord, he's here. The other Fire Lord I know isn't in the tournament, but I don't think he's on this time of day. Oh,
looks like Yang locked it. He's gonna make a password or something. Let's sort out the room here.
Yang, if you're on the stream, if you could message Zerkers, there's a lot of Zerkers. There's definitely some in here. Yang, if you could PM me on Discord the password to the room so I could watch.
He invited me, so I got in here. I'll invite you.
Oh, he just invited me.
Yeah, okay, cool. We're getting there. So we'll go ahead and get into our first match. Dimach, I did try to add you in. I don't know if I got you in. Unfortunately, I did announce in Discord and everywhere for the check-in, so think you might have to wait for the next one, buddy. I'm sorry about that. Day wins. Yeah. All right, so whenever Yang is ready, we'll just get a lobby check-in here.
You start whenever.
Yeah, if you guys are both ready, for sure.
Who sets the room for PvP? Who does set the room? Do you have anyone in particular, or is it whoever sets it up first?
So in the challenge bracket, there is a rule section at the top, and it specifies how you should create your match. I believe it's you put the name of the round name, and then your opponent's name, or your name and your opponent's name.
So Yang's already popped tab, and both of them already popped tab. So I think that if Celia can hold the combo here, it should just pretty much be dead. But she messed up. She again let him get up from the and then Yang probably should have ran away there and let some cooldowns. I can see some small mistakes that he's making with the But again, the iframes from Valkyrie kind of make this matchup a little difficult for Catspaw. In my experience, I've won it most of the time, but again, the Catspaw needs to get in really close, and I think the Valkyrie needs to try to keep a medium range here. But
agreed. Yeah, both these players are kind of going all out. Actually, tabs are flying out everywhere, and cooldowns are being burned a bit. So they're getting in the nitty gritty here. Definitely having a brawl.
The main thing that I think that a lot of these players need to work on is they need to save their tab for more vital things. There's a general consensus for a lot of players that use tab during a certain part of the combo. You can tell you don't just pop it right away because they're not a tab. They can generally predict, use an iframe or something, and then they'll just follow up again, and you just wasted your tab for nothing.
Yeah, agreed. And tab, for references, for all the new players out there, is the general function you get on your character. If you open up your skill page, you'll see that it's basically a CC break from any stagger or stun or just general damage, which what it does is every 30 seconds you can escape, and you get brief invulnerability. And what we see a lot of advanced players do is your tab actually has a general pushback with it, so it's going to allow you to follow up with a combo after if you react correctly. So that's what we're kind of looking for and talking about in these matchups here.
But I see that they're getting a little better at this. Yang is throwing out iframe before he's supposed to go in, like before Celia's going to go in. The Valk has a lot of iframes. The one where he kind of makes that circle and then appears at the end of the circle, that's a pretty long iframe, as well as... Oh, that was very nice right there. He, I don't know how to explain what he did exactly, but he shouldn't, I think Yang played that very well. He made a pretty nice prediction. A lot of this is kind of baiting out moves. So, like, right there, he kind of just said, okay, he's going to go that way. The reset, and then he went back in. So he's just going in and out. The Cat's Paw has shorter cooldowns, but the Valkyrie, I think, on average, is going to have to play this a little more conservatively.
Agreed, yeah. High-level games in this should act out very similar to other games, like fighting games in that nature, like maybe Smash Brothers or something like this effect, where a lot of the initial part of the battle phase will be built around just baiting people out and trying to use spacing properly to get a hit on your opponent before they can get you.
There's also
the use of iframes is definitely important as well.
Yeah, there is one thing I'm gonna have to look at is the map. I'm not exactly sure how this map, which class this map favors, but I would want to say Cat's Paw slightly, like that, because the Valk kind of doesn't really have as much places to run. There's. Alright, well that was
a sudden abrupt end to the match there, definitely. But we did get a winner out of that one. Looks like the Cat's Paw took that first round there. So this is a best of 3, 3 lives each. So we should be starting into the next round here.
I think
the Cat's Paw actually said his heart's beating really fast, and I know, like myself, I was a former professional player, so I know that experience of like being like in a high pressure situation. So it'll definitely be an adrenaline rush for most people. So that's the whole point of this. We're just trying to make it fun for the community and you know, get people excited at PvP, create a little scene here.
How many? It's best of 3, and it's a random map every time, but they seem they got the same map again, which is interesting. Again, I think this slightly favors the Cat's Paw because it's just how their skills work. I think the Valkyrie favors the factory map and the one with a lot of boxes, even though I completely hate them. I play Valkyrie, and I think those are probably my best maps because I can just kind of run around and do whatever I want. Why does the mic sound so bad? Is it not loud enough or anything? If it's an issue, I can adjust it real quick, but I don't think there should be.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, we are the last-minute casters. We had some bailouts, so unfortunately, we're not exactly professional streamers, so we're just working with the best we got here.
Alright, so, that would have been a really nice combo. I think the tab, I'm not sure if you blew tab yet before, but right there is what the Valk's general strategy is, if you just want to go like the most cookie cutter, is they get in, they stagger, or get some sort of stun, and then they switch back to a range stance, the chain stance, and they get the extra damage from the Seed of Destruction, I think it's called. And
yeah,
also it lets them kind of throw them around. But some of the skills are a lot harder and have to be in the exact same positions, or if they have Ultra or iframe, they just kind of fizzle and you lose some of your biggest cooldowns.
Yeah, agreed, definitely. The catball seems to be chaining his moves together quite nicely, actually. I know the giant drop kick is definitely one of the signatures for the cat. Definitely does the most damage there, so both players actually kind of going back and forth here. And there we did actually see the proper use of the tab. He used the tab to block out the damage and then immediately followed up with the kill.
Yeah. Well, with Valk, I would use it either on when they start comboing off because it's very hard to come off again. You're gonna have to wait, or if they use the carousel, I think that's what it's called, the one where you either spin them around in circles or you dash for them multiple times. Because that right there, if you can tab out of that, it'll knock them away and you can easily start a combo. It's a very easy setup and it's not risky. A lot of times, some things just won't cooperate with you.
Agreed, yeah. The mechanics, it takes a little while to master them, actually, and get them to work together. It takes a lot of experience on your class, too, just to kind of get a feel for things and how Kritika plays out.
I personally have no experience. I don't know how to play the Ditto for Valkyrie because I haven't faced many Valkyrie Dittos. But I think a lot of it is like knowing what is something an Ultra, is it an Ultra break, is it an iframe, etc. Like, I will go face the Zerker and I'll have no idea.
Well, that was a nice recovery by Yang there. Definitely able to get that tab and the follow-up damage. He's gonna keep alive, but it's gonna be hard for him to come back. Just hanging on to a sliver of life here on his
It's
last
possible.
life.
He could get Cilia could get desperate here and just start throwing out moves to try to get just off one hit. Right there. Oh, the tab was
used.
used.
It's a good return tab as well, actually. Both players playing really well in this last life here.
I'm seeing a lot of things. Oh, yeah. Right there. She's just trying to use any skill to get the slightest hit off.
Yeah. See, it's awesome because you get to see these players evolve, and you can tell there from the start they were a little off, but as it went on, they started to get more into it, and we saw some better play at the end there. Unfortunately for Yang, it was a little bit too late. So now what happens in this case is both players just need to head over to the challenge bracket and report the scores, and what we'll do is we'll just keep checking out some results, and as they all update, we'll follow up on the next match here. So it shouldn't be too long. Now the hardest part of casting, killing time without sounding like a complete idiot. So
I'll try, but I'm not the most. No, I'm not the best personality in the world, but I'll try. If anyone has any questions about anything, I'll gladly answer them. But I'm trying to just watch as many matches as you can. I'll link the bracket real quick. This is the bracket. Oh. No, I don't want to. Someone invited me to. I just accidentally clicked.
I would just ignore for now. You could just leave it there so no one else can spam you. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of trolls and whatnot here. But yeah, the bracket will be updating. You guys can check it out there. We can see it in real time, so we'll see as these matches go. We just saw Brilliant Yang, I believe, versus Vixia, so we should see that bracket update, and the next one should go through. Once the second round does follow through, we will be following Katsui down in the bottom bracket, so we're waiting on the matchup between Yaya and Helix, which looks like that actually just concluded. So we should be in shortly. I would expect to see a lobby up real soon.
I'm excited to see how a good Valkyrie plays PvP. I play PvP a lot, but again, I don't have much experience versus other Valkyries, so I don't know what actually I'm supposed to be doing 100%. But again, the game's new, but I am excited to see Katsui. As Valkyrie is my favorite class. I have played some of the other ones to a small extent, but they're not very good. I'm not very good at any other class besides the Valkyrie right now.
Yeah, the Valkyrie, I actually played the Valkyrie as well a little bit, and I know that's definitely your favorite one, Ebby, so there's a lot of mechanics to learn for that class. I like the chain switching and the between the melee and the like pseudo range stance. It's definitely got a lot of mechanics you can get in there.
Oh, Katsumi invited me. Okay, I didn't feel him. Alright. So, when I first started playing Valkyrie, I never used a chain stance in PvP because I just couldn't land anything. But when I got better,
practice.
Yeah, when I got better at it, I started using it a lot more, and it just feels so nice. They blow their tab, and if I don't mess up and I properly space my abilities, I can just kind of 100-0 someone. Sometimes, so one of the things I do have an issue with is I sometimes forget to change stances, or I feel like I did, and I didn't.
Yeah. Alright, so we do have the lobby up. Waiting on Katsui's opponent. I'm actually in here, so I'm swap over to Observer. I'll give you the password for the lobby room on Discord, Abby. Here.
He PM'd it to me,
Oh,
so
you got it. Okay.
I had to switch tabs real quick.
Or else everybody's just popping in, okay?
Taxi, go away.
So this matchup should be Katsui versus Yaya on the Discord, which I'm not sure
what class
who
is Yaya?
is, but maybe it's Atlas, I'm not sure. Trying to get some information on that.
I think mages might have like the least representation in this tournament.
Oh, definitely. People seem to be shying away from mages, like in general, actually.
I really like Warp Mage in PvP, but they just don't do a lot of damage. Things keep going, and eventually the other person might die, or that person will get in close, and then the Warp Mage dies.
Okay, so it looks like we do have Yaya versus Katsui here, and we'll go ahead and hop into this round. And check this out, again, another Cat's Ball versus a Valkyrie, so that seems to be the theme of the tournament
Yep.
here.
Alright, so the first thing I see every single time for every Valkyrie is that they'll throw out the thing to try to bind or slow. Just throwing it out whenever, doesn't matter. Valkyrie has no mana issues. And, yeah, tab break right there. We'll see how Katsu applies. Okay, so he just, again...
He was
yeah.
patient, that was good,
Yeah.
saving the tab, not getting overzealous there, so he's definitely holding on to that for a better moment.
There's a little bit of mind games there. A lot of times people get psyched out and they'll just use... And they'll back off. So they don't have to use their tab at all. Because then they're afraid the tab's going to get them and they're going to get comboed out. Katsu has perfect spacing right now. Everything he's doing is very nice.
We can definitely see the signs of a veteran PvP player here for sure.
Switching stances
follow-up's
whenever.
great. Yeah, the hold on the tab is also good as well, and the use of the environment is actually quite well too. Just denying vision behind the pillars and rushing in for an execute follow-up damage. Very strong combos here.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but I'm gonna go with he. Sorry if I'm assuming your gender. Yeah. But he's managing the cooldowns very well. He only goes in when he knows he can do something beyond just poke. His iframes have been predicting very well when Yaya is going to do something. Yaya's combos have been very good. The only thing is that again, Katsu knows exactly when to use the tab, when he can't get hit, and how to use iframes. So there's just a little bit of being outplayed here. But Yaya is playing it very well also.
Definitely agreed. Yeah, that was a close match. You could see the experience. It doesn't seem close because it was 3-0, but you could tell that both players were trying to definitely pull their combo set off there. Again, the big difference was the tab usage. Katsui definitely timing it at the right time and waiting for the correct times. There's many times when she could have just used it. However, she chose to hold that, so that definitely made the difference in this match.
Yeah. Another thing is she's using her skills for mobility, some of the lower cooldown ones. There's a lot of ones you can use that are just not for mobility. The bar break right there in case these ultra and break out. I think she's gonna tab soon. See right there, right when she was far away, so she wouldn't get caught out of something out of it. The range is like near perfect. If I could like somehow show exactly where she's going, like she tries to stay around this area right here, because that's where a lot of the skills land pretty decently.
Yeah, and you can see the Cat's Ball doing a lot better job this time, actually. Definitely keeping the score range a little bit closer, so he's learned from the first match. He's not taking the bait on the tab, too, as well as we can see.
From Yaya's position, I am watching from her perspective. She is chasing a decent amount, but Katsui is not engaging. He's just running around until she has some response. She definitely knows what the Cat's Claw is going to do in most situations, and her mix-ups are very good. Sometimes, like right there, with Whiplash, a lot of times she's done melee and tried to come off there, but that time she instead backed off and dodged the skill. So
yeah, definitely like the spacing with the Procat to get distance, and then using the Entangle to follow up on the combo breaker there. So definitely a good move on that. both players seem to be picking up the pace now. We're getting a lot closer game than we saw in the first round. But I think that the Valkyrie class by design does benefit a little bit more from running away and kind of so-called just using the environment, because they have a lot of distance closers and a lot of iframes.
Good spacing tools.
Agreed, yeah.
If you would compare it to like anything from a fighting game, it'd be something like a projectile character. They want to keep it out of. They want to keep out of range. They want to. Sorry, the chat keeps switching. They want to make it so that they can just play the kind of long game. If there was a timer, the Valk might be stalling to the end of the timer pretty much every round.
Yeah, I agree. The cat actually picking up quite a nice kill there. So this is turning into quite the match. For sure. Both players kind of making better use of their space. We see the cat chasing a little bit less now, so I think he's kind of learned his lesson, not to follow too heavily and press her in. I'm not too familiar with cat, so I don't know if it's actually beneficial for them to give chase or to just poke from range. Or
I think the general thing is approaching someone is not the best idea. A lot of classes don't have a good, easy time doing that, because then a lot of the approaches are...
Yeah, I think that it depends really heavily on the class, because like Doomblades get a lot of benefit from chasing actually, because they do have the quick mobility with the right click and several other moves which just give them big distance. So it's really dependent on your class here. Oh, and we're looking at big damage coming out here. I'm not sure if tab's available for cats here.
Another 2-0 Valk versus Cat's Paw.
Yeah, that match was a lot closer though. We did see the yeah, was definitely trying there to land his mark, just a little bit shy. I would like to see this match go to maybe a best of 5 or something. Like hopefully this would have been a more like in the finals.
Or maybe a different map would be a big benefit.
Yeah, maybe a different map or something like that would change the outcome of this, but we definitely see Katsui walking away as a victor here. So overall, good fight. I think both players played a lot well, or like, you know, significantly better than we saw before, and each one improving each time. So definitely a good matchup.
I agree. Again, eventually we're probably going to see players do a lot more specific things. Like the mix. This game feels a lot like a fighting game in some ways. Yeah, Zenkai, Final Destination Fox only, no items, but we tried to do that, but not enough people wanted to play Fox.
Oh yeah, like in Smash and stuff like that. Yeah, if you compare it to those games. Yeah, well, I think we might see some mirror matchups here. There are definitely some better players, or some better classes at the moment. You know, everything can't be balanced perfectly. The game did just come out a month or so ago. So, but I think we have the next matchups probably gonna get ready to go here pretty soon. This should be Katsui versus Akumanism. I would expect a lot better game out of this one. Both players seem to have been on the top of the ladder at some point in time, and have definitely been around for a while. So we'll see. Hopefully, we can see a 2-1 victory out of this one. That would be my hope here. These 2-0s they're quick, but just want a little more action here.
Yeah, Dimension. Right now, we don't have the best setup for how the tournament should be, but something involving banning and choosing maps might be interesting to watch, but I don't know how exactly you would do it.
Oh, of course, yeah. What we're going to do is in the KOL Discord, we're going to basically gather a lot of your PvP feedback and try to feed it to the appropriate people so that we can get some good changes in for PvP, because I personally believe there's a community for this, and I think that people are interested in it. So I think if we gather the right people with the right knowledge, we can make PvP definitely a lot better than it is right now, and even, you know, invest into a competitive scene and carry on like future tournaments.
Yeah, that would be really nice. I would like to see something a little more, because right now as it stands, I could do PvP, but it just kind of feels like I'm playing casuals. And I do like a sense of competitiveness, but I don't get much of that feeling right now in the current.
Oh yeah, definitely there's a skill gap between all the players, but ideally, you know, everybody would want to be able to play, whether it's the casual, the noob, you know, the extreme hardcore person. We just got to find a suitable, you know, build in the game to make that good for everybody, and then tournaments can reflect that. We may do something like Pro Series tournaments, and then also Amateur Series tournaments. Like again, this tournament will give you seeding points in KOL, which will determine your outcome.
Alright, well, it's Katsu versus Akumans, if I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry. So we got an Assassin versus Valk. A lot of Valks, but the Assassin seems nice. They're both classes that rely heavily on spacing, so I'm excited to see how they both play it out.
Yeah, let's get in here and check this. So the early open up from Katsu here, getting a nice combo. The log out is definitely Assassin's signature move. They can kind of get a sort of a free tab out of a few things. But Assassin following up with a nice combo. Once again, lifting him into the air. He's always balancing and juggling the character slightly above the ground. So you're seeing him use particularly skills to reset the elevation of his target. So actually getting a full lockout there.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I saw the tab, but I experienced a lot of things. He knows when he has to use it, even at the last second. There's not too much you can really do as a mix-up right there. He kind of has to use it or get comboed out. He has to, so right there he's predicting from around the corner. But I guess the Assassin just seems to have a good amount of game knowledge and knows exactly what to do at what point.
That is correct. Yeah, both tabs being traded out there. Katsui's a little bit early. The Assassin following up shortly, but nice combos coming out from him. You can see the full mastery of his class showing. He definitely knows exactly what to do and is playing almost near perfect right here.
I haven't seen pretty much any mistakes so far. I'm very impressed with how he's using that. He gives a fire trail as a finisher. He's doing very well. Right there, that was a good tab, but the log perfectly timed, and then he gets out of it, so the tab just feels kind of wasted. But but he has a good follow right there, and his combos are very fluent. They're similar, but there's not much you can do if you can't get out of it.
Yeah, definitely. The spacing on the Assassin is a bit better this time, so Katsui really struggling to find his footing here, but we've seen some good things from him in the past, so let's see how he reacts definitely in the rest of this round. If I was him personally, I would use this to adjust to the momentum that the Assassin's bringing here.
Like right there,
try to find its footing for the next round, so I think that's what he's doing, just trying to experiment.
Like maybe he'll have better chance in another map, better map or better predictions. But right now, it doesn't seem to be down to just luck or predictions. Akuman's the Assassin has just played it perfectly.
Yeah, that round for sure. And, you know, it could be Katsui not being adjusted to how the Assassin plays. That definitely brings in a factor here after playing 2 Cat's Paws. So we'll just jump into the next round and see what kind of goes through his mind and how he adjusts going forward here.
Alright, so this map, again, this map's pretty good for a Valkyrie, and I've seen Assassins have a lot on it. A lot of places to hide and spacing, so let's see how it starts off again. Valkyrie starts off the same thing every time, setting out the chains, trying to bind them. The Assassin just kind of dirtles around, waiting for an opening.
Oh yeah, agreed. Good pillar usage again here, trying to deny vision and come out at the right time. And also, so definitely a little bit more in the Valkyrie's favor.
Valkyrie needs to run around, already blue tab. Akuman hasn't blown it yet, so this could be a good full combo, but he could drop it. There's a chance. Like right there, he used the skill a little too late, and he kind of got the iframes from getting up.
Yeah, we are starting to see minor misplays, so some pressure getting to both players. The Assassins do have a really nice combo build-up. Like, once they get that range damage, the poison, the bleeds on you, if they proc the Envenom at full stacks, it does quite a bit of damage. So that's how we're seeing the Assassin being able to pull off what seems like 70% of the target's life.
If you notice while there's a little bit of downtime, when you had that many bleeds and poisons up, it was about as much damage as an auto attack would do. A couple auto attacks. It's a lot of damage. It builds up. These small trades do very well for the Assassin. And
yeah, definitely.
Like if we saw an Assassin
taking too, that definitely makes a big difference.
The skill where he believes 3 lines of like fire does a big chunk. Okay, right? The chain. Valkyrie just used the chains below the stun. Probably could have followed up slightly better, but again, landing that skill in chain form does an insane amount of damage and can just sometimes take out about half the health. Lands the whole thing. If I had one thing, I would probably tab or attempt to use an iframe there, but the skill does kind of lock down for the first second, so it is hard.
Yeah, and again, this is a high-pressure situation, and so looking back at this, we're definitely, you know, in the third-person sort of view, so we can kind of go back and be like, oh yeah, you should have done this, should have done that, but both these players, I think, in my opinion, are performing really well, considering they're in the moment and they're under the pressure. In a Pergam
circumstance, I would have done something completely different there, but I might have fat-fingered, I might have tensed up. There's no way to tell what exactly you would do in the situation. We have time to think about it, but we see it from a slight delay, and also we're pretty calm. We're not the one actually fighting. Well, a lot of these things, like right there, I don't know if that was on purpose, but the whiplash to throw from behind to front was actually very cool. I don't see that pulled off very often in PvP, but if that was on purpose, I would have I was very impressed. That could have went into a very nice combo, but he did drop it. An assassin there, you see she goes in, she throws out a big combo and backs out. And at the end, it's just the macro game is a lot better from Akumanism. She's going in and out, and eventually she just wins.
Yeah, definitely just taking the series here. Katsui did just quite well though. Definitely getting a life off the assassin that time. I'd be interested to see how that goes out. Once again, you know, I'd love to see, you know, 10 more matches of that, just to see the improved, like the improvisation coming from the Valkyrie each time. So
yeah, there's a lot of
we'll
things.
probably follow up Akumanism here. Oh wait, until the next. Actually, we'll check and see the brackets and figure out how we're going here. So brackets are advancing quite quickly. Actually, I kind of expected this because Kritika itself is a very fast game. Like these rounds will go really, really quickly. So we'll actually come back to Akumanism in a moment. We're gonna go ahead and check out Jexy and Dumbidiot, which that was not an insult. That's actually his name. Wolf Guardian coming in here. Definitely good to see some Wolf Guardian play. Not one of the most popular classes, yeah, but definitely a fun class. So I'm interested to see it.
I'm wondering how Jaxie's going to approach this. Is he going to try to go for the Wolf, or is he just going to try to... He has to place a little faster. The Wolf Guardian's going to get a lot of chip in. This is not something that he can really play for the long game. Jaxie is going to want to win early, so he wants to kill the Wolf, or he just wants to make the Wolf Guardian below his cooldowns and just kill the Wolf. So you see
yeah, that's definitely interesting to play. And once again, if you are in the final format, go ahead and wait to start your match. So we're going to be casting all the final four matches, and also the third place match and the finals as well. So if you are in the top four, go ahead and just hold on a moment once we get there, and we'll handle it from there.
Relax, go get a drink.
Yeah, definitely get a drink. Get some nerves out, get ready for your next match, whatever you have to do.
I see everyone's in really high spirits. No one seems to be really salty about losing. It's the first tournament. I think people are going to learn a lot from this. So this is definitely going to get a lot of people excited for upcoming tournaments and more events.
Yeah. Katsui, you wanted to... Oh, I would have let you comment if you weren't playing in the event, but since you are, I feel like you'll have a little bias there, so maybe next time.
Katsui commentates... I want him to commentate his own match and just tell how good he is. Oh, I would watch that.
Okay, the lobby is up for Dumbidiot versus JXC, so we can go ahead and check this out.
Well, these are two classes we haven't seen yet so far. I'm pretty excited to see how the...
Oh yeah, that's great. Wolf Guardian versus Doomblade. I believe this matchup is actually in favor of the Wolf Guardian, which is one of her few good matchups. But I do know Dumbidiot being a very good player. I've played against him.
Again, from the start, you make a good prediction. She does tab right there. I always tab based off that skill because that can combo for under 0. Both the tabs are down. So I'm wondering if they're just going to run around and wait for tabs and repeat the same process, or if the Wolf Guardian is going to just actually go in. But I just saw her dodge a pretty big skill with an iframe. Though the Wolf could die soon. So what is the Wolf Guardian going to do here? I'm very impressed she's just dodging all the skills. I feel like such a scrub compared to the Wolf Guardian, even though we play different classes.
Yeah, Wolf Guardian can resummon the Wolf on a 20-second timer, so there is that if the Wolf does die, which is kind of an issue for some people playing Wolf Guardian. We do also see the Wolf Guardian making use of the Cat's Kick mechanic, which is the general rogue class ability. When you level it up, it actually gives you super armor and invincibility on the third kick, I believe. So that being a good tool to use when the Doomblade does close the distance, it definitely helps her get away without being juggled into you. So good use of the Wolf here, good mechanics. Again, the Wolf is kind of a sort of auto target, but also sort of directional thing. So this player is actually macroing the Wolf to some extent. So a little bit harder class to play.
As you see, the Wolf kind of doesn't really do what it should sometimes.
Yeah.
For a good 4 seconds, they're just stuck behind a wall. They might teleport because of a skill.
This is actually the worst match for Wolf Guardian because of the long walls here. But it's a slight mechanic that could be fixed in the future, and I'm sure it will be addressed.
Wolf Guardian is one of the classes I did want to play, but I wasn't confident that the UI of the Wolf would be even slightly competent. But it seems that there is some skill here. The skills with the Wolf Guardian and the Wolf are kind of insane, and they all feel very, very satisfying. I imagine they feel very satisfying to hit. Because when I get hit by them, I just feel like I'm dead. Like that tornado thing they run around with. I haul ass the other way. I'm not going near that.
Yeah, Wolf Guardian is probably the most underplayed class, maybe next to some of the mages.
Maybe Frost Mage?
Yeah, maybe Frost Mage? I would love to have seen a Frost Mage in the tournament, but...
I love them. It's so annoying, though, because you can't tab out of a lot of their stuff, so you just kind of get stuck.
Yeah. Jaxi actually pulling off a nice combo there, managing to take a life off the Wolf Guardian, so we got a little bit more of an even game here. But again, the Wolf is actually macroing Sirius, which is the name of the Wolf quite well, so he's really using it to bait out ultimates, bait out moves, just kind of keeping distance from the pillar and playing the range game. So
there's one thing I haven't...
players that could be frustrated.
Alright, that skill right there, I see a lot of Wolf Guardians either used for iframes, or it just kind of confuses people. Like, where do you go? What do I do? It kind of... There's a lot of mind to this, because a lot of us don't know a lot of things about our classes, so some of the skills just kind of screw us up. But as you can see, the chip damage from the Wolf Guardian is just kind of going to get there. If I was Dumbidiot, I would just play the range game and hope that... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. He's using it well. Like I said, my main class, my main character, Tepheroth, is actually a Wolf Guardian as well, so basically... Just looking at this matchup, I can see some strong mechanics from the Wolf Guardian player coming out here. So definitely a little bit of a bias towards my favorite class here, but you know, we'll see how the Doomblade reacts. He's not doing too shabby himself. We'll see if he can compose himself for this next round.
Jaxi has.
He also got a different map, so that's important.
I do like to see different maps. While I would like to see the same matchup played again with Jaxi having more knowledge, new maps do give an opportunity. This is one of my favorite ones, but it is a little weird, a lot of open spaces. So I think aiming is going to be a big thing here, because if the Doomblade lands off one good combo, Wolf Guardian is just going to get pretty much frozen in place, what it looks like, and comboed off. But I think Jaxi's kind of might be a little nervous here, because Wolf Guardian can get off some pretty strong combos.
Yeah, it's hard to say because, again, you have to deal with the double threat of the Wolf Guardian, which is one, the Wolf coming out, and then two, the ranged attacks coming from the player. But both Trabs traded previously. It looks like Jaxi is starting to pull off quite a nice combo in the corner here. Tab is down for Wolf Guardian.
Yeah, he's weaving in the auto attacks. He got the Wolf in there too, so even if it fails, the Wolf's
very
probably
good
dead.
juggling mechanics, so a nice kill there from Jaxi. So he's definitely starting to find his stride here, and you know, he's showing a little bit of fight back in this match.
I'm excited. I want to see what the Wolf Guardian is.
Once again, the ranged shurikens are actually heat-seeking from the Wolf Guardian to some degree, so those really helping with the harassment, and it starts up the combo for the Wolf Guardian. Once the shurikens hit, she can kind of follow up with the Wolf and teleport on top, and continue to go from there.
A lot of the Wolf Guardian skills just kind of seem to lock you down or move you around. You don't have much freedom, so holding the tab for the right opportunities is very important.
Did we lose Ebby here? We might have lost Ebby, but that's fine. Continue.
No. My Discord just glitched out.
Oh, okay, no problem. I thought I was gonna have to solo pass. Oh no, here it is.
Yeah, again, I think
go ahead.
knowing when to pop tab versus Wolf Guardian might be one of the most important things. So just knowing what each skill does, because if you pop it the wrong time, they'll just follow up with some other ridiculous skill. But it's having the Wolf out and being able to coordinate it. The skills all feel like they should be very long cooldown, but in reality, they're pretty short.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wolf Guardian is very, very weak in the melee range, so once you do get the tab out of the Wolf Guardian, it's almost impossible for them to recover, given the other players playing perfectly, so...
Yeah, but you can see here that the Wolf Guardian is playing pretty near perfectly.
Yeah, he's doing quite a good job. The Doomblade actually is starting to close some gap in terms of damage. He's down about half a life bar right now, so let's see how he can manage.
So, for Wolf Guardian, what do you like to do when you start the matchup? Like, what is your general bread and butter? Like, if you have some quick general, what do you do when the match starts up?
Well, what you usually do is, it depends on the map, because on this map you get a long distance, so you're going to have to immediately summon your Wolf, obviously. That's the first step. And from there, you're just looking to range harass with shurikens, and once you can confirm a hit, you follow up with Wolf. A lot of times what players use is the Wolf Guardian skill called Flash, which gives you Ultra and lets you dash forward, so to try to confirm some hits. But the Wolf Guardian gameplay is a little bit complex, and it's probably better understood from somebody that actually can play or has the class. So like once you get in and see it, you'll definitely love a lot more.
I am
once again the Wolf kind of utilizing those mid-range mechanics to definitely take the edge over this Doomblade here, and I did predict that this would be the matchup in favor of the Wolf Guardian, but I don't know if that'll be the case versus like a Berserker or something else with a little bit more Ultra armor.
Oh my gosh, they have times when they don't have Ultra? What?
Yeah, the rage is definitely a factor.
I have just screamed, cried. When they do that spin that pulls you in, I feel so hopeless. Yeah. It goes in slow mo, but it feels like it goes in slow mo, but in reality, I just die essentially instantly.
Yeah. So if actually it looks like we got a few players in the lobby here, we have the next matchup ready to go in this. This is going to be Final Four right here. We'll go ahead and go with Aria versus Dumbidiot first. The next match after this will be MrFrost versus Akumanism, the assassin that we saw earlier, and a new player that we haven't seen. So that'll be a good matchup. We'll see how these two go. But I think that we should be ready to jump into this match. This is going to be a BO5 for the Final Four. So best of 5 now, kicking into this matchup. So we're going to see 5 rounds instead of just the normal BO3.
Well, maybe 5 rounds. I'm hoping to see some more maps. We haven't seen. I think we've seen every map at least once or twice at this point. But I think overall we've seen this map the most.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one definitely coming out a little bit on top, but then again, that's just up to the RNG gods. So once again, we see a nice follow-up damage coming from the Wolf Guardian. The Assassin actually having a little bit of trouble.
He's kind of attacking the Wolf and then trying to switch targets.
Yeah, that can be an issue for a lot of players. Like, the Assassin has single target damage. He doesn't have AoE damage, so sometimes a lot of the skills can be absorbed by the Wolf Guardian. However, I do notice in matchups like Berserker versus Wolf Guardian, the Berserker has a lot easier time because he's able to cleave down the Wolf with the Guardian as well.
I think that might have been a little bit of mistargeting, but I think the Assassin just seems to be a little overwhelmed, switching back and forth, not exactly sure what to do. It is hard to think of what exactly to do for the target and the midst in the moment.
Yeah, the Wolf does add a surprise element here, but it's definitely adds with the issue of targeting. So, you know, the Assassin is going to have to be a little bit careful in how he executes his...
Like, does he want to go for the Wolf? And if he does, he has to keep the pressure up, because if the Wolf Guardian gets away, the Wolf, from what I can see, pretty much instantly, and there's not much you can do to stop it unless you attack them.
Definitely. Thanks for the host, Karth, as we get back into this match here. Quite the matchup, actually. Both players really drawing out this first set here, so we're definitely seeing a lot of damage return. The Assassin does actually look like he's struggling with the range harassment from the Wolf Guardian.
Yeah, again, a lot of ships. I didn't think this would be the easiest matchup. The Assassin kind of plays a hit-and-running game, but there's a lot of ship, and the Wolf Guardian just kind of has easier time getting in there. It'd be interesting to see on the other maps, though. Would closer quarters be a little easier? But I
think so, for sure. I think if we went to the map with the wind pipe that jumps you over the wall, I'm not sure the name of it, but if we went there, we would see a lot more favor for the Assassin. But, as we say that, actually the Assassin is willing to even out this game.
Yeah.
So
the beginning was a little rough, but he's kind of figured out exactly what he needs to do. His mix-ups are really good.
Definitely some adjustments here. Trying to play around the barrier here a little bit more. Definitely kind of drawing the Wolf towards the obstacle to keep some difference, and I like that, actually. I like using the environment as my follow-up. Wolf Guardian landing again, those shurikens coming out for the confirm, the Wolf following up nicely.
Yes, it went on the Wolf.
Dropping the combo slightly, though. Once again, same thing, actually. A tab coming out, both players, actually.
So this could be getting down to the thing.
Reset.
Oh, that's very nice dodging this. I'm just go right there. But again, I think it's just not going to work out at all. You see, the lightning comes down, ships him, so he just can't run around forever. But the tab's going to be up soon, so I think he's kind of forced either to go in or wait a while longer.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay on the soccer pedals there, but not too much to worry about. Looks like he's just trying to close that gap, but it's hard because his life's whittling down, so...
Yeah, he's trying to attack the Wolf while he can, but at the time, he risks taking a lot of ship damage. So the tab for, Aria, Dumbidiot should be up around the same time.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite hard. The Wolf's just gonna be able to kind of chip away damage.
And I think this might be
pressure's
the
on
end.
for the assassin. Yeah, for sure. Very nicely done there. Just the pressure getting too much to the assassin, having no life, and suffering the ranged attack harassment from the Wolf Guardian. Just able to pull off a nice kill there. So definitely first set going towards the Wolf Guardian here. So we'll definitely check into the next match and get it started. So this is a best of 5. We're gonna go ahead and see the next match here. So hopefully we'll get 4 more matches if we're lucky.
So I think this might be a little more balanced map for both of them. The other one I think favored Wolf Guardian a little bit, but this one I think he moved better. But again, like the last time, the start was just played a little bit better by Dumbidiot. The knowledge of the class, how to manage it, it's being showed very well. One thing,
good balance of harassment coming out here and mechanics and using the environment to kind of dodge some attacks. He's kind of getting away with a lot of damage for free, but then again, once that assassin gets up on you, if he follows the combo correctly, your life bar can go away pretty fast.
I mean, I don't know if this is on purpose, but positioning of Wolf Guardians very well. A lot of the skills I just see kind of get soaked up by the Wolf. If the Wolf Guardian wasn't there, I mean, actually, it's the Wolf itself, I feel like he would have had like comparatively less health than he does right now.
Yeah, that is actually some macro play by the Wolf Guardian. There is a few skills that allow you to reposition the Wolf, and so what he's doing is he's using the call down and the lightning to basically position that Wolf slightly in front of his target and him, which basically kind of creates a little bit of a barrier. So
one thing I haven't seen a lot of players do, but does seem to make a difference in some matchups, is a lot of them don't go for the movement speed buff, which can be pretty major versus some classes, but...
Oh yeah, that's definitely a mechanic I haven't seen. Is it does give you a movement speed buff, which does give you an advantage in terms of spacing, actually. So that does come into play a little bit later on in the matchups, as well as mana pools being dropped.
Man, I don't know if
personally I would like to see some more power-ups like that on the map. But I think it would be interesting.
The one thing I don't want to see, I'm afraid they're going to put into some sort of health regen.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they'll do that. I think the matches are fine as it is. And once again, like I said, KOL is just trying to really head the PvP community here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to gather information from all these good players, put it together, and present it for EnMasse to make appropriate balance changes so that we can, edge this towards a competitive game. And we may even see different game types in the future besides 1v1.
I would.
Capture the flag tournaments coming.
Would be interesting. I would like to see the teams. We have to go on with people though. That'd be a lot of people I know that came from C absolutely love Capture the Flag. I have some friends who just play. They only get on for Capture the Flag if they're friends, and it's a lot of fun. I'm personally not as amazing at it, but I do like to watch some of the Capture the Flag because some of the maps are very, very nice.
Oh, definitely. And we see damage trades going out for both characters once again. Wolf Guardian actually getting a little bit aggressive here, which is a little bit uncharacteristic. Might actually be punished for it.
And
actually definitely shouldn't have probably came around that corner, but he's maybe feeling a little cocky, a little confident here.
That shows one thing about the assassin. If you give the assassin even a little bit, and you don't react properly, the assassin just does incredible amounts of damage. That's pretty hard to react to.
Yeah, definitely, really fun class. I like the design by him. Actually, just really good. Like, I've never seen an assassin or a ninja mechanic.
It's not
really enjoyable.
I thought it was gonna be some sort of rogue or just go in rogue for World of Warcraft, but it feels more like it has the poison, it has the explosions. It feels kind of more like an actual ninja, prioritizing kind of being cheesy.
Yeah, the range touch is really nice. I like that. So, coming out from both people.
That was a good tab right there.
Yeah, once again, the Talisman's followed up with the Wolf, forces the tab out of the Assassin. The Assassin trying to retaliate somewhat here. I think he's a little lost, but he'll recover in a moment.
So can you explain to us how exactly how the Wolf ship work, how the Wolf Guardian ship work, when the lightning comes down, what procs that?
Yeah, so the Wolf is basically, you have commands for the Wolf Guardian, and you also have commands for the Wolf itself. So certain moves react differently with the Wolf, and a lot of the moves allow you to home in on your target or reposition the Wolf. So there's definitely a diverse mechanics going on there. It looks like, weird voodoo magic, but there's definitely some degree of control there.
Would you say the Wolf
also
Guardian?
A little bit of uncontrol too.
Would you say the Wolf Guardian is just objectively weaker without the Wolf?
It can't do it. It can actually only use 5 skills. So yeah, it's very, very weak. Once the Wolf is dead.
That was again the very end.
Nice match there. The Assassin once again Wolf Guardian may have gotten a little bit overzealous there. Definitely rushing around the corner, trying to engage the Assassin a little bit more. Assassin playing a lot better in that matchup, so was able to take out that set. So we got a tie game now, 1-1, and we'll jump into the next round. So we look like we might be able to get the full 5 games here. So
yeah, that would be nice. So I want, if you notice that I watched Aria a lot actually before the tournament practicing. A lot of her combos always end with that thing that leaves fire in the ground. I don't exactly know what the name of the skill is, but it seems it does a lot of damage, and this seems to be one of her like. She always lands it, and she always uses it very well.
Yeah, I'm not too experienced in Assassin, but I believe that is a longer cooldown, maybe in the 20 to 40 second range. But it's definitely a finisher. You can actually choose the mechanic of how you use that fire move. I believe you can flip backwards or forwards, depending on how you wish to use it.
Versatility is good. Back attacks do apply in PvP, but the damage doesn't seem to be an insane amount. Like right there, I think she thought she was going to hit Dumbidiot, but missed it. Just like in any fighting game, while this may not look like a fighting game, it has a lot of similar things to it, like a small amount of things on get up, and also mistakes being probably the most major thing. It isn't ship isn't the most important thing. It's more about if you mess up a combo or you get comboed, a lot of the time it just leads to death.
Yeah. It's not so much the case in this. There are tools to get out of it, but it could lead to a good amount of your life being gone and or result in you losing 1 life. But again, it's a multi-life set matches, so it definitely is not a one-hit kill type thing. But we do see the Assassin, it seems to be kind of getting confused by the Wolf, actually. And that is the hardest part about playing against the Wolf Guardian, is really determining where the Wolf Guardian is as compared to the Wolf, because the Wolf creates a lot of flashy visual effects, which can sometimes mislead you. So like I do see some times where the Assassin is suffering a little bit from trying to keep up with the positioning of the actual Wolf Guardian as compared to the Wolf. But that could just be battle mechanics as well, because again, the Wolf Guardian is repositioning the Wolf to make it frustrating, so he's definitely using that mechanic of his class to get an advantage.
The Assassin has gone for the Wolf a couple of times, I've seen it, but one of the things I think he should do is if he does go for the Wolf, he has to follow up on the actual Wolf Guardian itself, because if he doesn't, the Wolf Guardian's just going to resummon it. It's like literally instantly. But why doesn't he have the Wolf up? There's nothing going on.
Yeah, it's a 20-second cooldown for that Wolf, so if he is able to execute damage on it, then he could get a significant advantage, but the issue is that the Wolf Guardian is good, and he knows this, so he's not going to let his Wolf die for free like that.
Yeah,
so
realistically,
whenever the Assassin goes for the Wolf.
Realistically, you can tell that, realistically, you can tell the Wolf Guardian isn't doing insanely risky things when he knows the Wolf could die and can't resummon it. Because if the Wolf dies, she'll just dash away, summon the Wolf, and then this Assassin will chase, and then the Assassin will get caught by something, and then the combo will follow.
Yeah, definitely. And some questions there. You did see the Golden Wolf as the Wolf Guardian ends up taking that match. The Golden Wolf is actually what I call it, Super Saiyan Wolf. It's actually a proc. When the Wolf jumps down from the sky, you can reposition the Wolf, and sometimes it goes Super Saiyan, which just increases its attack and damage, essentially making it stronger. So going into the third matchup here, we have a 2-1 lead for Dumbidiot going into this. So if he does win this next one, that will be the end of the series.
We saved it. We got this map 3 times in a row.
Wow. So the RNG gods smiling upon the Wolf Guardian here. It seems like he's got this map figured out. Although, in my opinion, I think this is the worst map for Wolf Guardian, but we'll definitely see how that goes in this next matchup. The Assassin's had a lot of time to adjust now, so he should be able to, figure this out. Even taking the time to chat here, I like the attitude coming from the Assassin, for sure. Very ballsy, but it's good nonetheless.
You might as well just summon when you're in there getting comboed. You don't want to just smash the keyboard. Come on, let me out of this.
I've seen players do that before. But once again, the Wolf Guardian doing a good job keeping distance. Assassin trying to close that gap, but I would like to see the Assassin play a little bit more of a range game, to be fair. And he did right there, actually. He followed up a lot of damage and executed it a bit. But I think he needs to be a bit more patient. He's trying to go in for the kill a little bit more. He needs to just let that hope come out, let that dot damage tick away, get some damage on him. Like, make
Tap,
the Wolf Guardian chase.
and then he's go in right there. The Wolf Guardian can perfectly iframe any approach, and just pretty much made it so that the tab was not used the most proper way. So instead of using the tab, she's using iframe, which is significantly better.
Yeah, lots of ults coming out there. The Giant Shuriken and the Golden Wolf Guardian being used, Super Saiyan version, as you may call it. So cooldowns traded. I would imagine not much left for either of these guys. So this first kill is going to be decided on who decides to go in first. I would think.
I think it might be Wolf Guardian just based off of the chip damage.
Yeah, it could be. You saw once again the reposition of Wolf to bring it back from like right on top of him instead of being stuck in the wall. So good macro in the Wolf Guardian's play.
So what he's gonna do now? I think that the Wolf Guardian probably just wants to just get off some cheese damage, or not, just in the open.
Yeah, the assassin is having none of that, so not letting that happen, finishing the resetting the match, 1-1 as well.
There's one thing I've noticed is that he always uses that skill where he jumps up in the air with kind of like that. I guess I would call it like an axe kick.
Yeah.
Right when
that is
he thinks
the cat's kick. Yeah, that's the cat's kick I was talking about. It's the rogue mechanic, the general rogue class mechanic. And when you level it up, you're able to use it on any rogue class, not just the Wolf Guardian. So it allows you to get an iframe essentially, and also an ultra break.
He's using it absolutely perfectly in every situation, from what I can tell. Whenever it's approached, he uses it, iframes out, and just kind of resets the whole thing. And he gets like a 2-for-1 because Aria uses a skill to come in, and then Aria tries to use a skill to start a combo. And all he does is use one kind of medium cooldown attack, and kind of doesn't take any damage.
Yeah, the return is very nice there. Once again, Wolf Guardian following up with some damage tab used there by Assassin. Definitely just trying to... They're both really getting aggressive here. I like this. They're definitely both going in. You see a lot of players try to play around their tab, actually, which I would like to see the Assassin do that a little bit more. I'm not sure, like, once your tab is used and the combo is dropped, if, like, going in is probably the best idea. So, but we'll see the matches evolve as all the players grow, and like I said, this is the first month of the game, so we'll see a lot of improvement coming in competitive play here.
I imagine next tournament people might even bring different classes. They might figure out what's better their playstyle. I picked Valk based off of aesthetics mostly. I just like the whole like chain type stuff.
Oh yeah, the Valkyrie. Definitely, it's got the waifu appeal for all.
Yeah, those personalities.
People that are into that. Yeah, the personality. That one going for it there. But I personally think a lot of the classes are fun. It just depends on which ones you want to try out. Some are better in PvE, some are better in PvP, but that's just the nature of it.
This is an alt game. Having alts does have a huge benefit. I haven't leveled much of my alts yet, but I'm going to. I know some people already have a ton of alts, like they already have pretty much the max alts. I have a friend who has 5 Doom Blades capped.
Yeah. That's definitely good to have ults in this game. I think it just gives you more knowledge of all the classes. Like once you know how a class plays, you're able to play against that class better. So being able to have 4 or 5 characters, get on them, mess around with them, definitely teaches you a lot about the game.
A lot of matchups could be wins. Like I don't know if Aria knows exactly what the Wolf Guardian does, but I think she has some basic knowledge. Because you can tell she's slightly nervous that she doesn't want the match to go on forever because she's afraid she's just going to get chipped down.
Yeah. Wolf Guardian is a unorthodox encounter for a lot of people. So once again, Wolf Guardian able to maintain that distance, execute the harassment damage, and nice follow-ups like good evasion. So that's going to be a 3-1 favor of Dumbidiot there. So we're going to advance on to that's the first Final Four. If you have lost in this finals, do not leave because there is a 3rd and 4th place match, which will determine who gets 3rd place prize. So Aria, definitely stick around and be waiting for that.
I'm excited to see MrFrost. We haven't been able to see any of his matches yet, but I am pretty excited. I want to see some more variation. There's a lot of the classes are just the same. We see a lot of the same.
Okay, so now we should have MrFrost and Akumanism joining in here. So let's see what we can do about that. We may have to drop a lobby here and see if we can find the other one. Yeah, we'll have to find them out. Oh, MrFrost was in that map. Okay, let's see if we can get Akumanism to join in here. I'm gonna try to message this player.
So do you have any predictions see who's going to win so far? We have a couple people left.
To be honest, I have not seen MrFrost play, so
That's my only holdup.
yeah, I need to see all the players play. But I did like the play out of Akumanism. I like the play out of Dumbidiot coming across there, so definitely a lot of good factors in there. Looks like they're in a lobby here. Ebby, did you find your way in? It's just a free join lobby.
Yep.
We got a couple of the community members just spectating in. I guess this is okay for now.
And guys, remember, follow the channel. We'll be doing more PvP events in the upcoming weeks. You said you're thinking maybe every other week.
Yeah, I think we might do a weekly thing. It seems
That
to
would
be
be
quite
nice.
popular right now. We'll definitely change up the variety of tournaments. So if you like it, definitely check out the KOL Discord, which is linked in all the community Discords. Should be easy to find. It's on the challenge bracket as well. You can check that out and also follow the Twitch channel here. So we'll be probably back either next week, I believe next week, with another tournament. So we can definitely all prepare for that one.
So I'm really excited to see the Frost Mage. I really like it. A lot.
Oh yes, finally! That's great.
The
Yeah,
slows
Frost
are
Mage is really
insane. The binds, you can't step out of them. It's frustrating. All you can do is sit there and hope he doesn't kill you.
Yeah, it's not quite like that, but I actually played a Frost closed beta, and so a little bit of insight is the Frost Wage, how he works is through stacks. So once he gets so many free stacks on you, he procs a stun on you. And once you're stunned, you actually can't tab out of the stun. You're forced to be locked in place. So you can only tab out of the initial damage, but to my knowledge, iframes and tabs do reset the frozen stacks on you. So.
That is very nice. Though I've seen that MrFrost is playing positioning very well. Akumanism can't get in at all. He's just kind of stuck.
Yeah, just an onslaught of range harassment coming out from MrFrost.
So on the spawn, even on the spawn, he's positioned very well. I think that Akumanism might need to. I don't know how many iframes Assassin has, but I think he just needs to try to dodge around. And this is one of the matchups where the movement speed buff might be pretty important.
Maybe, yeah. The Assassin will be able to get some nice combos off if he's able to close the gap. That's going to be the problem because Assassin not having that many Ultra States or Invincibilities, so really MrFrost can kind of keep his distance here and just let an onslaught come out of range harassment, which is what you see coming from him every time.
There is a decent amount of bleed coming out, but it's not noticeable enough. The chip damage isn't doing much. He might eventually get a life, but but it's kind of looking on the ground for Akumanism. It might be the map or something.
No, I think this map actually favors the Assassin. I think that it's going to be up to Akumanism to close the gap correctly, and how he's going to be able to do this is he needs to dodge diagonally or like adjacently instead of just running straight at the Frost Mage hoping to get an engagement, because any follow-up he can get should be lethal on the Frost Mage. Like, they have nothing in terms of escape. Like as you see there, he's locked.
Yeah, he blew the tab and he couldn't get out. He just got combo down.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of a ranged advantage. Well, a lot of a ranged advantage for the Ice Mage.
Player on a tab. I bet he's going to tab very soon, but I think, the main thing is he just needs to get in. He needs to kind of, push through the...
He's
terrain.
realizing that now, as you can see, the nice combo follow-up damage there, taking the Frost Mage quite low. Frost Mage giving a little bit of chase, tab use, as well as the log from the Assassin. So he's actually able to close the gap once again, so we should see a kill here. Oh, he drops the combo.
Yeah, that was a little mistake there. So thing,
but the re-follow-ups, never mind. He knew what he was doing all along.
Every spawn, Akumanism in this tournament has thrown down that poison where the enemy will spawn, and it is a little slow. It hasn't done much in this matchup, but I've seen it have some slight effects, some chip damage, and just allowing him to get in a little easier. But this is...
Yeah, definitely true. Frost Mage able to pull off the win there, just executing a mid-range attack and the finisher with the Ice Ring. Very nice. I like the play coming out from the Frost Mage. I think that was a wake-up call to the Assassin, saying, yo, hey, this is a Mage. You ever played one of these before? And I don't think the Assassin has, so, playing against this Frost Mage is going to be a learning experience, but he's got a best of 5 to do so, so that was only the first round, so let's see how he handles it in the next one.
Yeah,
and once again, same map, so...
The mages are really unpopular in PvP. I think a Shadow Mage has potential, but I think I've gone up against one Shadow Mage my time playing this game.
Oh yeah, there's not too many. There's one high up on the ladder, but definitely not a class you see a lot of, but a lot of potential there. So once again, all classes being pretty good. So it just depends on how you play it and how you figure out how to play it.
Like you said, I think every class has its areas. I think there needs to be a little more development. people always, when they think PvP, some people probably first went to Cat's Paws and the Assassins, Wolf Guardians, the Rogue classes, because Rogues are, I guess, the quintessential PvP.
Yeah, I think, again, the Frost Mage getting a lot of value here because of the probable lack of knowledge coming from the other character, because you don't see Frost Mages anymore. You just don't. Not a lot of them, so this is going to be... He's probably trying to figure out, like, what does this guy do? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, but you are right. As soon as the Assassin gets in, if it doesn't drop the combo, it's pretty much instant death. What is the Frost Mage doesn't have time to really do anything.
Yeah, again, yeah, that gap being closed, very bad situation for the Frost Mage. But if he can kind of stagger his big cooldowns, especially the melee escape ones, he should be able to do quite well, and we kind of see that coming from him.
He got a little zealous there. I don't know if he needed to peek there. He probably got a little impatient. I think he should probably...
yeah. He's chasing. Yeah, you can see he's definitely chasing right now. He's trying to get in on that Assassin, and Assassin is just kind of doing a good job hiding around the line of sight there from the pillar and utilizing the timing when he comes around the corner.
Yeah,
So,
I get... There's just literally nothing he can do right now. He has that ice shield, but he can break through it pretty easily. If I've noticed, when a lot of the spawns, MrFrost has been using the laser because it seems to go for the wall and apply a stack.
Yeah.
A lot of predictions here. He hasn't landed it too many times, but...
It's hard. It's really hard to do that, but it is nice when you do hit it because it's really big stack count and also a lot of damage. So able to pull off the combo there. Actually getting the freeze on the spawn. That's interesting. Forcing the tab out of the Assassin. Gap is closed though, so this could be trouble for the Frost Mage. Luckily, Frost stacks actually stacking up there, getting the freeze, getting out of there. I'm not sure if I like this position for the Mage though, because he's kind of trapped in the corner, and there's the vent on the other side.
It could be nice for a little bit, but if he does end up killing the Cat's-Paw is going to spawn, and the Cat's-Paw is going to have an advantage here. So he either needs to keep the gate down, which isn't good if the Cat's-Paw's alive, so he's going to have to get it down like right when he dies. So I agree. I don't think there's very many places that can go where he benefits him.
Yeah, definitely hard on this map. A map favor might be a little bit better in some future rounds, hopefully, for the Frost Mage, but he's trying to make do. Definitely trying to work with this limited space here to get the harassment out, but I think the Assassin's starting to figure out how the Frost Mage is working, and utilizing the map he's able to get.
That was he canceled a Protro there, but again, Assassin...
nice prediction freeze. Again, catching the Assassin on stealth, but however, just a little too late. The gap was closed quite a few times there, so we're going to see the round go over to the Assassin on this one. So I believe that's a 1-1, if I remember correctly. So we'll go into the next match here.
Right.
Jinosuke, thanks for the host, man. Appreciate it. And we'll definitely continue on here as we look into the next round. And once again, same map. This is insane, actually.
Random map.
Yeah, random maps. So unfortunate for the Frost Mage, but or maybe he likes this map. We don't know, but we'll see how he plays.
He seems to have. They both seem to have a general strategy. Like they have some things that they're pretty okay with, because you spawn in the same place and you spawn very close. So the Assassin, every time it spawns, will every time the enemy spawns, will throw down the poison thing to get them slow. Hasn't done much yet for actual advantage, but I guess it could work versus a melee class. I just think this is just going to be a difficult matchup for both. It's one small mistake, the Assassin gets in and can fully combo. Or if you don't, the Frost Mage is just slowly going to beat you down. He doesn't have much damage, but the damage comes out pretty frequently, and there's not much you can do against it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's definitely on the Ice Mage to play perfectly here. Once that Assassin closes the gap, there's really not much he can do. So, again, mastery of the class and basically just utilizing the map is going to be key victory for him here.
I think one of the main things they need to work on is, a lot of us need to work on is actually is game knowledge. If we know exactly what the skills do, or cooldowns and stuff, we can get a general idea of what they are. But a lot of us just have to go off based off our PvP experience. Since they made it so you can only PvP at 65, I haven't had a chance to PvP on some of my ults yet.
Yeah, definitely game knowledge goes a long way. Like I said, that's why I leveled up with a lot of classes, changed classes in the closed beta to now, so I've played almost every class at this point, so like I definitely know what their skills do, and I just want to use that knowledge to kind of help with this casting here. But I think these players could also utilize that because then again, you know, that could benefit them in the matchup. So, you know, interacting with the community is also another way to do that. So if you got friends in high level of PvP, you got watching these tournaments, you can learn a little bit more about the class.
Mid-Eder, you actually can't tab out of the Vampire Spear. That's just... It's hard. It's not. I don't know if it's insanely hard to land, but once you get hit by the spear, you're kind of stuck in it.
Yeah, some moves are untabbable. The Frost Mage being one of them, Vampire Spear being a couple others, but those are just hard lockdown moves. So some
They're
of them
hard.
CC
Yeah.
just being really good.
Like the Frost Mage here, I don't know how his class would not function very properly if you could just tab out of all the stuns. But once they do stack up, you can kind of get this chain going where you slowly inch forward, he just slowly inches back, and nothing is done.
Yeah, I like the mechanic of the Frost Mage actually. I like the stun on the stack reset. So I would like to see a little bit more fluidity with the stack counter. And wow, actually freezing the assassin mid-air. That's pretty cool.
And he's also in the stealth, but I guess you can kind of see where he is. I'm not exact. I wish I could see just from the Frost Mage position, because I can still kind of see the invisible. I want to know which Frost Mage could actually see the ring of frost around on the legs, so you can see where he is.
Oh yeah, the ring should be visible to the assassin, and how stealth works in this game is you're invisible, but they can see you. However, your skills don't really target track very well against invisible targets, so a little bit of a maneuverability and dodge mechanic there with the stealth.
The stealth is more kind of like you can kind of see the outline, but it does make it, well, again, like you said, more difficult to target. It's kind of just, I guess the best way to say it is like evasiveness. Like if you hit someone, you could kind of dodge. It's nice, but it's not stealth.
Yeah, the assassin seeming to figure out his stride here, so definitely has been learning through this process, and he's been able to take the next 2 matches. So now we have a 2-1 in favor of Akumanism. So we'll definitely jump into this next game. Finally, a different map. The RNG guys have finally allowed the Frost Mage to play on a big map. So we'll see how he makes use of this advantage here.
So one thing I noticed is that neither of them have pets out. I always take my pet off. It's a small thing, but you can kind of see where you are if you just see their pet.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't actually even aware of that, how pets interact with here. I know they do provide small bonuses and things like
In PvP, I don't know if they really do anything, but you can see where they are. So there's no reason to have your pet on PvP, because they give you a slight idea of where the opponent can see a slight idea where you are. Like you're behind it, the pet's falling behind. It doesn't do much, but the small things add up. So you can tell that these players probably noticed a lot of that. But yeah, like you said, the big map is really helping out the Frost Mage, running around, pretty much taking absolutely no damage so far.
You can see the prominence of the Frost Mage coming out on the big map here. This is definitely his playground, so he's taking full advantage of that, staying out in the open, throwing range harassment. So it's up for the assassin to close the distance here, and that's going to be quite hard, actually, given the circumstance. So we'll see how this plays out. But Frost Mage continuing to just spam harass, actually hitting him quite nicely with the laser there. So solid pickup kill. Again, no return damage, so follow this execution.
Yeah, and then the assassin went in, and I think right before MrFrost put on the shield, if you notice the damage, you only do like 1 damage to it. You don't stagger as much. I'm not exactly sure the exact mechanics of it, but
the mechanics of which, the Frost Mage?
The Frost Mage and how the shield works. I want to know if there's a threshold or something.
Oh, okay, so it's a barrier and it basically absorbs a threshold of damage. And once it pops, then, well, that's it. I don't believe it gives you ultra armor, but I know it does just kind of help with either range harassment or just like if somebody gets an initial burst on you. So activating that is going to be pretty key in a lot of this. Frost Mage also do have another mechanic that allows them to sacrifice their mana pool for increased damage. So I'm not sure where he's doing that, but I'm wondering if he is utilizing.
I noticed he moves slightly out of the way to get the mana. I am sorry about the camera. The camera is a little difficult to maneuver. I wish I had a better way to do it, but
yeah, we will adjust for these up and coming ones. The spectator climate is a little bit limited right now, so we're kind of working with the basic camera you got. We'll do the best we can.
If it was up to me, I would have a freeform roaming camera, but
yeah. This is the first tournament. This is pre-season, so we'll look to get a bit more of a professional setup for next time. Like I said, we are kind of the last-minute heroes of casting here. We had a couple bailouts, so we're definitely just kind of substituting in for this. But the important part is the matches here, where you see these high-level players play. And, you know, I'm actually learning a lot from watching this about just the different combos that are set up for this.
Like, there's a lot of, like, I guess, not want to say generic combos, but bread and butter things you're generally going to do or whatever.
Yeah, there definitely is a few nice combo sets that are well recognized by a lot of the classes. So once you have those down, it definitely calls upon the situational effects from there on.
I would like to talk to. I am going to talk to some of these players afterwards to get some advice because I am not very good against a lot of these different classes. MrFrost, I think if I went up against this, I would have no idea exactly what to do.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the first match, but again, he was able to pull out the victory in the first one, caught the assassin off guard. Assassin started to figure it out on the map, but now we're on a new map, so once again, new learning experience for the assassin. He's really struggling to close that gap, so I would like to see him maybe play the pillar a bit more, maybe be a little bit more patient, maybe even go for the movement speed. I'm not sure what he needs to do, but he definitely has to adjust his strategy.
I noticed that this match has gone on for a very long time. Like, a very long time compared to other ones?
Yeah. You can see Ice Mage being very patient, playing his game, range harass. Assassin looking for opportunities, not finding a lot. Again, he's trying time and time to close the gap and get something in, but just not able to do it.
Snowpocalypse.
Yeah, Snowpocalypse is a very good move. Just a skill target right in front of you. You throw out a giant tornado. If it connects with something or reaches its maximum duration, it creates a snowfield in that area, which just continues to add stacks and does a lot of damage. Oh, Assassin finally able to close the gap, so will it be enough? We're not sure. Assassin running really low on life, and once again, he's in that same situation, has to close that gap, and that's going to be difficult.
Okay, yeah.
Nice dodges of a few abilities there. Ice Mage really trying to keep the distance. Assassin pressuring up quite nicely as well, not losing too much life, but once again stuck in the cross combo. Forces the tab out of the Ice Mage. Ice Mage running low on cooldowns though. If the Assassin could connect, he might be able to get a finisher here, but very limited life pool to work with. Like, one laser could end this.
Sorry I'm not commenting as much. I'm trying to focus on the camera.
Oh, it's okay. You can do as you want. Yeah, definitely. He tried to close the gap and once again got punished. So, definitely a lot of damage. And yeah, the desync coming is just a function of the game. So, unfortunately, nothing we can do about that right now. Slight desync from the skills and things like that. 2-2. Actually getting into the last match here. So, this is winner take all once again on this breezy map. Is that what it was called? I'm not sure what it's called, but it's
something breeze something square. Yeah.
Yeah, this one definitely being a bit better for the assassin. So we'll see how the Ice Mage chooses to handle this. But right off the start, a lot of damage coming out from the Ice Mage.
I don't know. This could be pretty interesting. They've had three. This will be their third game here, so I'm pretty sure they have some idea of what they want to do beyond just. They're not playing it later. They have a strategy and they're gonna follow it probably.
Yeah, they both have a game plan here. Ice Mage actually being fourth tab earlier is not available. So if the assassin does manage to close the gap here, it could result in a lot of damage or a kill for the assassin. He's buying time though, so not bad. Tab should be coming up soon. As long as he just keeps up this pace, he should be okay. Using the max duration of the channel there to stall out time for the tab. There's the combo tab back up. Ice Mage executes out of the combo there.
So we haven't seen Akumanism use that kind of return to the ball and leave the trail fire behind to escape, but I guess she was kind of forced to there. Most of the time we've seen her use it to finish a combo or do a lot of damage, but I guess in desperate times you got to use your abilities to escape. Like, that's the big thing here. She can't move very fast, so she has to use her abilities to try to escape.
The wise backup there from the assassin, knowing that he dropped the combo, the guy was on the floor about to get up with invincibility, so he backed up and tried to play it patient. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him. He got popped off by some range harassment. But a nice play, really well thought out. I like that. Really.
The first two games here were very difficult for Akumanism, but she definitely has a game plan and she knows exactly what she's trying to do. The laser going for the wall though is kind of just sets up the slow. She jumps over. I wonder if the Frost Mage is going to try to approach, but no. Again, you see she used the kind of trail to approach. I don't know if her plan is that she feels like she can't use it in melee range, or that she really just needs to get that far.
Yeah, I think the assassin is struggling with the mindset of, I have to get to this guy because he keeps harassing me and he feels pressured. So he's using tools that he normally would use for his combo to get an engagement or find something better there. Once again, closing the gap with the Ice Mage, using the melee ring at the perfect time to trap the assassin out of stealth.
But this time, you didn't get caught by it too hard and evaded outwards. Definitely making use of the whole time, making use of the shurikens and everything to go in and out over and over.
Yeah, definitely. So a little bit of a melee battle here. Somehow, on top of that, dodging the ultimate from the assassin. Very nice use of the wind tunnel there.
One thing we haven't discussed at all is actually gear. I wonder if most of these people seem. Well, I know Jaxie doesn't kind of same high combat rating, but is pretty decent. But he seems to do about similar damage to the other people in the tournament. So it's really nice seeing that gear doesn't have too much of an effect.
Yeah, it doesn't. It does, but it doesn't. If you're very, very, very far away from somebody's combat rating, then it will make a difference. But most of these players have probably done Star-Hinged. They've probably done a little bit of content. So I would assume, at the very least, they have like 30 to 40,000 combat rating. So if you're in that range, you stand a really good chance. There's not much.
All right, this is the final stock of the whole set, game 2, and they both have 2 kills. Getting to start off the Frost, the assassin gets in. I don't think. Oh, he doesn't just have to just came back up. The assassin running away. I would continue to try to fight, but I guess the barrier coming right up. He's trying to decide if he wants to try to poke it down or he wants to wait for it to go away.
Yeah, definitely. Some gap closes happening here. Once again, Frost Mage using the Ring of Ice to gain the space he needs to get away and start his Ranger ass again. So comboing up on the assassin quite nicely, getting down to the wire here. So
he's managing it very properly. He's running away, but he's not like taking too far to get out of it. But that's me out of it, and the set goes to Akumanism.
And there
very well played.
The assassin once again closes that gap, pulls in the damage, and that burst is huge. So once he finally made it there, he took him out, finished him. So that's going to be a 3-2 victory, favor the assassin. So very nicely done. Very
so
nicely.
That was the last semi, right?
Yeah, that is the last semi. Now we are going to go on to the third place match before we do the finals. So that is going to be Aria versus MrFrost. So MrFrost, go ahead and hang in there. Let's see if we can get Aria in here.
We get to see more. I'm excited to see more Frost Mage. I really am.
Alright, let me see if I can message Aria or find them.
Well, MrFrost did lose. He did play it very well, and I am very excited to see some more.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do against. I believe Aria was also an assassin, right? So we should have another, once again, Frost Mage versus assassin. So hopefully Aria was checking out that match and kind of seeing how it goes there. Aria is in once again. So this will be the third place match. Winner of this will get 1,000 cred, courtesy of EnMasse. So this is definitely playing for a little bit of stakes here. Everybody in this tournament does get 100 cred. So if you were in, you will receive that from EnMasse like promptly after the tournament follows. Second place is 2,000 cred. Third place is 3,000 cred. So nice little bit of money there. Get yourself some nice costumes, the cool swimsuit outfits.
Yes, the costumes are not that expensive. You could buy a couple of them actually. It's really nice to get your alt ready.
They're only 1,000, and I like them personally. I think the swimsuit costumes are really good. So, I definitely enjoy the wetsuit type deal on the Gun Mage and the Warrior. So a lot of good ones in there. But once again, we see this match starting up. Unfortunate luck for the Ice Mage getting this map yet again versus another assassin.
But I think he's done like 4 matches of this now, so I think he's an experienced veteran when it comes to Breeze Square versus assassin.
Yeah, the advantage definitely.
Oh, and that's the laser.
For
the laser for the wall, finishing off Aria, and then starting off, he was very next to the spawn, very close next to the spawn, and kind of froze. He's getting stacks already. He's probably gonna get another stun soon, right there, and he's gonna want to keep him continue his combo. Though he did let her get off the ground, invincibly frames and getting up. Would create a little bit of issue, but he's managing his tabs better, and I think the game knowledge and just playing for the last 20 or so minutes is really benefiting him.
Yeah, agreed. He just got out of a match. He was in a high-pressure situation. Oh, nice damage. Again, that burst coming after the assassin. Really crazy. Able to pick him off. So,
Come out of
again,
nowhere.
MrFrost needs to play his game. He needs to set that range game up. So,
Yeah.
you know, he has the experience from the previous assassin.
So he has this tab up. He could use it here soon. I don't think he's going to start going all in. I would use... Yep.
Yeah,
Once he
he
starts
needs to
seeing...
use it before the envenom hits. That's a big damage move from the assassin. So, a wise decision there to get that out. Range harassment coming down again, trying to keep distance in melee range. Not quite able though, not able to get the finisher. So now he's stuck into the combo with no tab. So this could be really bad for the Ice Mage.
Yeah, it's not going to
follow up. Perfect execution. Yeah, staggered him into the corner. So not the greatest choice of positioning from the Mage.
And then trading stocks.
Yeah, but the reset on it. So again, once close match, really close here. So, well, it's going to come down to the wire. I would expect a little bit of passive play here, while they kind of regain their thoughts for a moment and try to figure out, okay, how do I get over to this guy without him killing me?
Yeah,
Or
this
how do
is a
I
stun
not
if
let
he-
this assassin on me?
The comic
Big
keeps
damage
going.
coming out once again from the Ice Mage, able to wall out a lot of cooldowns from the assassin too. There's the melee ring, creating distance and space for the Frost Mage, allowing him
He's
to
aiming very well.
combo.
He doesn't
tab used by the assassin too.
He doesn't worry about completely being on point, but as long as some of it hits, this is just the small optimizations that won him that match.
Yeah, able to take the match there, forcing the tab out of the assassin. It wasn't able to follow up with any prompt damage or, you know, to disappear behind the wall. So stuck out in the open there. Definitely not where you want to be with the Ice Mage. First round going over to him, so 1-0 lead.
I hope you guys are enjoying the PvP tournament so far. Or there's gonna be hopefully more coming up in the upcoming weeks, and we hope to see more of you there. I've seen a lot of amazing play so far, and I'm excited to see how everyone improves in the next tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I want to see how this thing evolves personally, because I have a pretty good extensive knowledge of what's going on right now. So anything that I see here, and I'm actually learning too as it goes on. So hopefully we'll get up to the level of seeing some super high level matches. That's definitely fun for me. So when we get to those points, it'll be a good day. A good day for the Kritika community.
Yeah, I'm excited for the finals. We got two very good players who have played fairly well throughout the tournament, have faced a variety of classes.
Yeah, I agree. The finals will definitely be something, and even this match right here, a struggle for third place. Like you can see it coming out from both players. That 1,000 cred on the line. They want those swimsuits. You can see it in their eyes. So they're definitely going to pull out all the stops here to try to generate that.
You've seen the Valkyrie ones? They're kind of glitchy on the opening screen, but I love how they look in game. They got like the little swan ducky thing.
Yeah, all of them are pretty cool, actually. I like the Swan Duck as well. But damage trades coming out. A little bit of a missed time on the Ring of Frost there from the Mage, definitely resulting in his death. So a little bit of a lead for Aria here, but once again, trying to close that gap, so it might not mean too much if you can't get in time.
Yeah, right now MrFrost is kind of holding the tempo, kind of, I guess, seeing how once the match to go his pace, which is very slow.
Yeah, and once again, not enough health to close that gap. So, like, once you get down low versus the Ice Mage like that, it's gonna be pretty hard to recover. So that match, or that stock, so to say, that life was almost traded even. Good use of the ultimate there, creating space once again to try to get a little bit of distance.
Good tab.
However, yeah,
backs him off, but then he goes back into melee range for some reason.
Yeah, I think he didn't have very much room to work with there, so... or maybe he does, he's actually pulling a lot of damage off in the melee range, so Ice Mage not totally helpless in the melee range. Definitely able to...
the laser, again, going from the wall, that's been a major part. That's just some shit damage he pulls every once in a while. It's not ship, actually, it's a pretty big chunk.
Yeah, it hurts, and more importantly, it keeps ice stacks on him, which is very huge. So that's going to allow him to, when the assassin does try to engage, oh, you see the flip over the wall, actually, a little bit overzealous there, trying to engage on the Ice Mage, does force the tab out, and, oh, actually, my bad, I miscorrected on that. Tab now finally coming out from the Ice Mage, trying to reset the fight with the ring. Using the environment a little bit better now too. I like to see that from players. I like to see good use of the mechanics on the map.
Yeah. One thing a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people haven't in consideration is that it's the 30 seconds on the tab, so then they don't really think about it too much. It's something you really need to manage because if you can get the tab, a lot of the times you can just get a free 100-0 combo if you don't drop it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's not just it's another thing to remember. It's not just remembering the cooldowns and how long they are, and other things. You need to know when there's Hasmi up.
Yeah, definitely. Keeping track of that and using it to your advantage, knowing when to pressure and when to wait a little bit, can definitely decide the difference in a lot of his matches. Once again, Assassin able to close the gap, but Ice Mage not too worried, just kind of channeling the Frost ring there. Got him stuck in quite a nice combo.
Assassin gets out and then kind of dodges. I think that's a bind. With a stun, this might be the end. I'm not. Yeah, good job with the petals and the stealth there. Gets out of the combo. If she can pull something off over here. Oh!
Yeah, again, that damage burst. Really crazy from the Assassin coming out. Able to close the gap and get the... We've seen that Fire Flip be the ideal finisher for most Assassins. So, once again, does the job. That's going to be a 1-to-1, I believe, on that one. So we'll get into the next match here.
It's just...
I like watching this Ice Mage, to be fair.
I do.
I'm a big fan of the range class. I like to see what he can do here. He's fallen a little short, but I think the amount of effort and skill that the Ice Mage is putting in to keep this distance is very admirable.
The amount of damage the Ice Mage isn't that much, but there's an insane amount of crowd control as you'd expect from it.
Yeah, I think that is the general theme of the Frost Mage here, coming out from the mess.
Oblivion, that was actually the second match. They're currently 1-1.
Yeah, the other one. So. But yeah, the Ice Mage just being more control focused rather than damage. So again, a lot of combo setup, a lot of slow, a lot of stun. And he's just looking
it's gonna be something big off the Assassin here. I wonder if she's gonna use the Fire Flip. Yeah, see right there. It's just I would love to see what her actual percent it does, but it did a lot. She lands the combo, and since he couldn't get the tab off, he did a great amount of damage. You see the players are really understanding what the other person's gonna do. They have a good idea of their abilities when they're coming off. They're slowly adapting.
Yeah, definitely. And as we may have noticed, I believe somebody said that the Frost Mage only has 16k CR. So looking at that, he's able to get this far in this tournament. So obviously it doesn't make that much of a difference. Skill definitely triumphing over gear to some extent here.
I would like gear to have no factor in it personally. I don't know about you.
We might reach that one day. It's hard to say because WoW had gear as a factor for a long time, and it worked quite well. So it really just depends on how it's balanced and how it's done. But we'll definitely see a lot of improvements in the future, I'm sure. So I wouldn't worry about it too much.
The current system is very well. Going very well. I like how in closed beta, you can actually just get one shot by people, but this is a lot better. The matches are a little slower now. One combo doesn't actually just kill, but you have to extend them and figure out a chain together multiple things. So I think it takes a lot more skill than it did in closed beta.
Oh yeah, definitely. The improvements are definitely just getting better and in the right direction. And the more the community plays and the feedback we get, I believe that the game will go according to how we want it to go. So if we balance it correctly, if we provide proper feedback, I think EnMasse will be ready to follow up on that and give us a good game here. But once again, back into the match. Again, same story. This Assassin really struggling to get to the Ice Mage. Able to keep his distance, but once he does close that gap, he's able to get the finish. So.
Yeah, these are some of the more longer matches with him.
We're coming down to slight mechanics here. This is really being decided by little misplays, small mistakes, small positioning errors, and stuff like that. It's a good match. It's a very good match. So. We'll definitely like to see a lot of this once again the Frost Mage. Like no one's seen this. Like this is a very unorthodox class. So
yeah, he's the only mage that got even slightly far in the tournament. He's doing a very good job of it. I think with a little more improvement, he might have he could have just straight up won the tournament.
Perhaps, yeah. I would love to see him come back next time and participate. Definitely a lot of things that he can do to improve his game, and I'm sure he'll look at that and get better, especially checking out VODs and things like that.
Well, this will all be archived, correct?
Yeah, we're actually going to put out some VODs. We're going to release on the YouTube channel, which will be done here shortly after the tournament. And also on the Twitch, you can just go ahead and check out the VODs here if you want to see past matches, see how other people did, how your opponent plays, maybe even learn a little bit.
All right, 2-1. So right now this is a set point for Frost Mage. So he has to. Aria has to win 2 more matches straight in a row if she has any chance of winning this. But even if she does lose this, she still gets how much? How much? Ian?
Actually, this is the big match here because loser of this only gets the 100 cred.
100 is better than nothing.
Yeah, that is true, but this is a pretty high pressure match. There's a difference of 1,000 cred here, so winner getting 1,000, loser getting nothing. This is gonna be a take-all match here. But once again, Assassin pulling out a lot of burst damage, so it's really anyone's game. If you close the gap correctly, use the knowledge that he's gained from playing against this Ice Mage, he should be able to pull out a victory here. Like, he has the capability, he just needs to outplay it.
A lot of things is nerves here. I want to see how these players would play just in a casual matchup. You're sometimes tense up because, again, like you said, there is 1k cred on the line here, which is something that it doesn't seem like a lot, but you're getting this just for showing how good you are at the game. There probably is a lot of nerves here, some small mistakes.
Yeah, that may be a factor. I'm not sure if the 1k cred is the big, pushing point for pressure, but I believe it's more of just playing against another good player because if you enjoy competitive play, if I remember back to my first time when I was playing on like LAN tournaments and things like that in other games, I was feeling a little bit of pressure, but as time goes on, you get a little bit more seasoned and you're able to maintain the calm and the composure to execute correctly. So we'll see that from these players. Maybe nerves is a factor today, but next week maybe it's not. The week after that, so these small mistakes will all be improved. And once again, this is the first tournament, so lots more to come.
It seems like a pretty even matchup. Aria's adapting very well, but MrFrost has also been doing because he's been fighting a lot of assassins.
Yeah, he's definitely going against a lot of assassins. For sure. It seems to be. I'm not sure the favor of this matchup actually, but it seems like he has a pretty good time dealing.
He's fairly experienced in it now, though. So
yeah,
I do think.
I would assume he would have a lot harder time against a class with a lot more ultras, maybe the Valkyrie or Berserker or something like that.
Well, the Valkyrie's more frames than ultras. The Valkyrie doesn't have too many.
That's true. But iframes are actually better against the Frost Mage class because I believe that the iframes allow you to drop the Frost stacks. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me, but it definitely helps and contributes against the matchup. But yeah, Assassin able to close the gap. Lots of damage coming out, able to pull off the finish, so that is actually going to tie up the match right here.
Yeah, that's why I'm stuck here, but Ice Mage needs to hopefully make sure that she can't approach. This is pretty tense. You're going to probably do some risky here. Pull the match. Because there are a lot of big cooldowns. For a lot of classes, some ultimates aren't useful. Like for the Valkyrie, I never used ultimate in PvP, but right there, Assassin used hers, got some hits off.
Each ultimate has its different use. Some are more offensive, some can be used to just allow displacement or dodge mechanics and things like that. So each one having its use. But the Shadow Assassin is doing big work for the Assassin. It's actually the big cooldown on the Assassin. Yeah, able to combo him up and finish him off. So he's definitely going to take that matchup. So while the Ice Mage can stall out the match with range harass, it may not be in his favor if the Assassin can stall out long enough to get that big cooldown in there. So.
I don't know if that was me, but that match went on so long that the music actually stopped looping.
Wow, yeah. So that is actually going to be a 2-2, I believe. Once again, tied up, so going to a game 5 here, and this will be the final match to decide who has first place. I'd say this is a pretty neutral map, in my opinion, so both players having a good advantage on this one.
How are they going to play the wall, or are they going to try to stay behind a stump? Because it
looks like the Assassin is playing the wall a little bit, but able to venture out for the attempt on the combo there. Like, what I would like to see from this Assassin is probably a lot of feints, like trying to close that gap, and when that Ice Mage goes to use the Ring of Frost and
or the shurikens
like that, yeah, just dodge out, reset the fight, maybe with the soccer pedals or the stealth or something.
Waste of cooldown, but it's completely fine wasting cooldown too if you can get in and can continue the combo.
Yeah, I think cooldown baiting is going to be pretty advanced tactic in these matchups that could make a big difference.
Or so right here, you see, that does a lot of damage. She did have the ways to get in, but that is probably the
wall. Wow,
that happens many times. He is on point with those lasers.
Yeah, it's just prediction. He sees the character go behind the wall and just kind of takes an aim adjusting to where he thinks it should be, and nails it each time. So good job coming out of the cross. Nice hits there. Falling up. He's trying to make the most of this little slither of health he has. Get a little aggressive, a little cheeky, but he gets some damage, so maybe that was worth. We'll see how he does on the reset here. Assassin, once again, trying to close the gap, able to get the shurikens and the follow-up damage, so we should see a lift and Venom coming out from the Assassin here. Well, actually, the ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot in this matchup because the Frost Mage is also trying to play just a long game, and if I can see the actual statistics, I bet that the poison and the toxic and the bleed really is building up and doing a lot of damage, more than you'd probably expect in most matchups. They go a lot quicker, but he's running away, so you can slowly see it shipping down.
Yeah, nice catch over the wall. Assassin trying to jump over the barrier, but nice Mage predicting the land and actually catching him off and stun. So gaining the advantage here. Small slither of life, but again, once again, Frost Mage able to make use of that small health, just keeping the range reset and forcing the Assassin to take damage to try to close the gap.
Again, I like I was saying, they're either going to play around the back. I think the Frost Mage kind of has advantage there, but near the wall, it's a little more of an even game. Going in the open, and she dodged, again, with the cat's kick right there, she dodged some of it, but she gets getting slowed, and she's going to have to get in. MrFrost isn't in the most advantageous position right now. She iframes the up close in the melee range. The laser catches her. I wonder how he's going to follow up on all this, or he's just going to try to back off. I would back off, personally, but...
Yeah, I think he'll reset the fight with Frost Nova. He's running out of cooldowns now, so he's trying to gain some distance. You can kind of see it. Snowpocalypse actually missing there.
And then, as always, we see that weird bombing thing just doing absurd amount of damage.
The weird bombing thing, yes. The official name of the assassin. We'll figure that one out with mutual ones.
Someone's probably typed in the chat.
Yeah, if anybody knows.
Oh, I think the Assassin's going to pull this one off. And yeah, good job to Aria. She
stuck in full combo. The giant shuriken coming out, trapping the Ice Mage. No tab available, so definitely going to time that one. So that would be the Assassin pulling out the victory in the 3-2.
Thank you,
very close game.
Ryax. Fire Blast does increased damage based on the amount of bleed stack, so that's why we see it as a finisher. Because near the end, it just does a ton more damage. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, and MrFrost and Aria, please be sure to report the results on the challenge bracket so we know who got third place. Sorry. So now we should be jumping into the match everybody's been waiting for, the final match. This is going to be Dumbidiot, Wolf Guardian versus Akumanism, the Assassin. So both of these players showing really good play and beating out some strong opponents in the previous round. So I'm excited for this. I want to see. This is probably the highest level of Kritika play that we've seen so far, and you know, there may be higher out there, but we'll see next week. Maybe we'll get some other players, some unknown players.
I would have liked to see some Zerks. That would have been nice. A lot of people think that Zerk is one of the better classes in PvP. I would have liked to see some of them, but we got mostly Assassins. Mostly Assassins and Catspaws was probably the majority of people we got.
Yeah, we saw a few Catspaw. We saw a lot of Assassin. But definitely good class diversity. Some of the other classes in the matches we didn't get to see previously. I know a lot of the good players, some of them weren't able to make this tournament or had some issues with sign up or something like that. But once again, next week we should see a better class diversity for sure.
Right,
but once again, both opponents trying to use spacing properly here. Actually, both being aggressive, so this is the mirror match, or not the mirror matchup. But I'm surprised that the Wolf is like kind of playing like an assassin here. He's being really aggressive considering.
Yeah, well, I think it's based on I don't know how to exactly explain it, but I think it's based off the player. Like if you go up against someone you know is really good, you're gonna adjust your playstyle slightly. You're gonna take less risky moves, or maybe you're gonna be more risky to go for the gamble. You're not going to expect it.
Well, the Wolf going for the gamble here, and it's paying off. Definitely able to...
Getting right in the corner, getting a combo. I did not expect the Wolf Guardian to go in, and I think that kind of caught him off guard. You don't often expect the Wolf Guardian to just approach and just go all in, and I think that really made us sarcasm. Probably just didn't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, Wolf Guardian has a good arsenal of melee moves with the Wolf. as long as the wolf is alive. But I think just versus this matchup, the assassin is going to struggle versus the wolf because of just, again, the factor we saw earlier. Targeting with the wolf and things like that. The assassin being a single target class as opposed to someone that does AoE not being able to pull off too much. But once again, we see the fire spin kicking in the big damage there, follow up with the envenom combo, so able to burst the wolf guardian down.
The camera glitched out for a second. Sorry about that. Back to normal. But yeah, the wolf guardian
kind of wasted on the wolf, or it might be calculated because stunning that wolf does prevent the wolf guardian from using his moves, so keeping it trapped may open some space for engagement there. But wolf being able to pull off quite a bit, drops the combo, so assassin be able to reset.
playing very
Shuriken in there, not quite paying off as he definitely falls to Wolf Guardian there. It's a little bit of a cheeky Shuriken channel for sure.
I'm loving the cat's kick. It's just so much iframes and just dodging. It good predicts. But the assassin's finally going to get a combo in. Let's see if she can finish it off. Oh, finish it off and actually pull something out really nice off.
Yeah, nice stagger, good reset, backslash, and able to pull off the kill there. So tying it up once again. Big damage coming out from both sides. It kind of seems to be if you're caught without that tab and you don't have any resources, you might fall. It just might happen. So
the assassin
both
really...
sides playing the fishing game. Just really they're actually picking up the pace. They're not afraid. They're not staying out. Like they're not trying to play passive too much. Both being really aggressive. I think that shows the confidence they have in their skills in their class. Both just trying to trade out ultras, trying to trade out invincibilities here. Trying to see if they can get that stagger hit on.
There's might be a time for Assassin to go in. She just summoned the wolf, so if she can kill the wolf here, she did use it to refresh the health. So I'm wondering if Akumanism saw that.
Yeah, he did. He followed up promptly with the Shuriken, which damaged the wolf, allowing him to kill it again. So definitely the follow-up damage there popped off the kill.
The first match goes to the Akumanism. I'm excited to see how the rest of the set will go. These are players that have both played very well, having dropped very few combos throughout it, and overall have just done what they're supposed to do. It's all down at this point. It's all down to the small mechanics. They're not players that will make these small mistakes.
Yeah, lots of room for improvement out, but definitely a high level of play here. I'd like to see a little bit more of the Wolf Guardian playing his game. There, I felt like he was playing like an assassin.
Yeah, Akumanism seems to have adjusted to that. I think he needs to back off a little bit and play with more of the wolf, like this.
Yeah, and we actually see a little bit of that here, forcing the assassin tab out. Again, the wolf adding the harassment while the guardian gains distance, so definitely playing a bit of a more space game here. I like that. Cat kicks coming out from both sides to dodge.
It is a very good skill. It seems to be the bread and butter of every single rogue class.
Yeah,
it's very, very nice. That's what
if you're not running that cat kick and you're a rogue, you might want to look into that one because the ultra and the ultra break is very strong on it. So
I think Dumbidiot's getting an idea here what he needs to do. He's definitely playing the Wolf's Paw game. I mean, not the Wolf Guardian game. He's going for a lot more spacing. These are both spacing classes, but the Wolf Guardian can play from a lot farther distance.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see, and what I've tried to get better on myself for Wolf Guardian, is there's a player in Korea who's #1 on the ladder. Is actually Wolf Guardian. I believe his name's Final, thing like that. And he uses a lot of spacing and dodging, like quick dodges between the pillars to just generate confusion in the opponent. So utilizing the rogue skills like backslash and the flash from the Wolf Guardian. I haven't seen many players doing much of that, but I think it's just a matter of time before we see. We're starting to see the evolution of the cat kick meta.
I wonder
maybe
the
they
cat
call
kick
it
meta.
that. Yeah, the cat kick meta coming out from all the rogues here.
I wonder if we're gonna have a different thing than Aria is, but they do have more farther in patches. Maybe the less availability of classes.
Yeah, we will for sure, because EnMasse has already said that this is going to be, they're going to make the best version of this game. Like that actually comes from All-In as well. So this game's going to be a different client from Korea, but you can use some reference material from there. You can definitely learn a few things from some of the players there, watching VODs and whatnot. But this match, again, once evening out, like both players seeming to catch the combos at the right time.
Getting the wolf right there, the wolf summons off cooldown, so she switches off. I think she's trying to get some damage on the wolf, but I'm not exactly sure what her exact plan is.
I think it's more of a convenience thing. Like if the wolf is technically right next to the wolf guardian, then it's great for her to get damage off. But going out of the way for the damage on the wolf, probably not the best. We saw a previous assassin try to do that; it didn't work out well for him. So
They had to switch midway, and they just lost. And they lost
Yeah.
games they could have had on the actual wolf guardian.
yeah, this assassin is doing a bit better job of that. Really focusing on the guardian, but maintaining some damage on the wolf, like throwing out the shuriken to gain damage on it to interrupt its attacks and things like that.
He is using the wolf itself to actually as a way to get closer to the wolf guardian sometimes. You notice he's as a target for some of his dashes and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not. Maybe that's intentional. Yeah, it might be like an auto target thing because I know there's an option to auto target some new skills. But yeah, it looks like that's the assassin combo. Good job on the tap for the wolf guardian, preventing
Throwing the
the
shurikens out right there to
damage
get. I think I'm not exactly sure if that's. It looks like iframe to me. So dodging
Yeah,
the
it's an
skills,
iframe.
not able to react right there. So it throws out the shurikens, maybe get some damage in.
I think it was just a defensive measure, so he was able to follow up after the shuriken throw and execute the kill. So I think well played by this.
I've noticed that. I've seen that skill used a lot defensively. I haven't seen it used many times as like for a combo, but but having the iframes makes it a lot easier. It lets you readjust. It lasts a while.
Yeah, sliver of health on the assassin. Finish off by the wolf guardian with the aerial move, which is a long cooldown. So not a lot of abilities available for wolf guardian. Hopefully we can catch the assassin off guard here. Nice combo, but assassin able to break out of it actually with the recovery on the ground. Big damage being traded out. Wolf guardian really struggling in this
And the
last
shuriken's been
Ultra coming out there and just a little bit too short. So
In the
that's
match
gonna be a
itself-
2-win spree for assassin here.
And at the beginning of the match, I always think to myself, I think this wolf guardian's gonna win, but then the assassin really just pulls it back. They start controlling how the match flows, and eventually they just out tempo and win.
Yeah, definitely. Assassin's coming out strong here, but again, some of the classes not represented too much in this tournament. So next week we should hopefully get to see a lot more berserkers.
Maybe a fire lord.
Fire lord, yeah, get a fire lord in there, something like that.
Come on, where was Superman?
Yeah, I'm wondering. We'll see. I'm sure a lot of people will pop in. I think that from the looks of it, there's a good amount of interest for this. So it's definitely going to be a continued thing, and I think it'll just continue to grow.
Akumanism literally getting the 100-0 full combo right there. Very nice.
Yeah, that was quite strong.
Going over the wall using abilities, not having to use the thing.
Yeah, the cat kick mechanic to go over the wall is definitely, it's something not a lot of people know about, but it's a little good. It's a little cheeky trick to get a little bit of confusion out of your opponent.
Everything, again, the smallest things are what's going to matter in this. They're both very good players, and they're playing at a very high level.
Yeah, actually the log being used by the assassin there is a pseudo escape, able to get out of the wolf combo, but getting stuck back in, so hopefully, wow, ground recovery, so a little bit of a drop there from Wolf Guardian on the damage. Seems to be like the pressure getting a little bit to the wolf, but starting to make a bit of a comeback. Tab force at low life, able to follow up off the tab, so nice damage coming up there.
It's again,
Good recovery, but Super Saiyan Wolf just taking him out. The wolf drop real strong.
the wolf also seems to get a lot larger during that as well.
Yeah, he grows in size and actually gains attack and defense, so when the wolf is in that state, he's actually quite strong. Damage cooldown's being traded, cat kick's actually going out from both sides. You can see this high level play being evolved here, so it's going to be ultra dodge. Ultras is just basically when you take damage, you're not going to get staggered from the effect of the damage. And what they're doing is they're both using that to escape CC, so they're trying to be the first person who actually confirms a solid registered hit on the other player. You do take damage.
Right there, falling out of the tab would have started a good combo, but again, tab out of the combos. Both of them won't have their tabs up for probably around 25 seconds. So this could be a really big combo by Dumbidiot if you can pull it off.
Yeah, this is Vomble.
Oh, he drops it right there.
Yeah, definitely able to get off the ground. I believe shift definitely influences sometimes when you're low on the ground if you're able to recover faster. Assassin pulling off big damage, big combo. Wolf Guardian recovering off the ground, log going out actually.
This could further in the match. The Assassin might have their ultimate soon.
Yeah, Ouija using tab right there. Assassin.
The shuriken, dodging the shuriken with the thing in the air.
Very nice play. He dodged with the lift up in the air and cooldown from the aerial assault from
Very
Wolf
impressed.
Guardian
That was
coming out.
something
Yeah,
very nice.
That was might have been the play of the tournament. Very nice there. Wolf once again coming through the wall.
So
Follow up
this
with
is the
1000
final stock for both of
there.
them.
Yeah, no tab available, I don't believe. So
This could
you
be-
can stagger this up correctly.
I would like to
Drops
see
coming
another
out.
game, but this might be the end of it right here. The
Tab
tab coming out.
right there.
Another tab coming out from an assassin.
Yeah, big damage.
Dodging that
Cooldowns
dodging.
coming out. Oh, a little bit of this. I would have liked to see the punish on that Shuriken channel there, because I don't think he's able to change direction for that. So.
It's coming down to the wire. He's gonna have to
Yeah.
approach soon. Running for the poison. I don't think it does that much damage or any damage at all, but the slow. The stealth, can she dodge it? Tab's gonna be up very soon.
Oh, Miss is coming out from the fire pole into the wolf combo. I believe that's.
And
gonna
this-
be
yeah,
for
and
the
we're gonna-
assassin. Very
and we're gonna
nice.
get another
The
game.
Assassin choking a little bit at the end there. So, definitely, once again, we see small errors making the big difference in these matches. So one that is 2-1, I believe. Now, so we
Game
might
4?
see the comeback from the Wolf Guardian. Yeah, this is definitely heading into Game 4.
I would like to
Jump
see a
right
game
into
5
that.
if possible. Okay, this is we've had this map before, and and at the beginning I felt like Dumbidiot was playing it better, but I don't know, it was somewhere in the middle of the match. Akumanism just pulled something out and just started controlling the tempo of the match.
Yeah, the tab being used early from the Wolf Guardian there, trying to gain some space, able to use the Wolf drop to get a little bit of damage and interrupt, but oh wow, actually the lift from the Wolf coming out there, definitely resetting the fight, allowing Wolf to get more distance.
You can tell these are good players. They're not just playing well; they're also adjusting their playstyle in the midst of the match. They're not just sticking to the same strategy over and over again, which could be an issue. If you are good, you are fast. It doesn't matter if people know exactly what you're going to do. But you can tell they're switching it up. They're using different playstyles.
I like the assassin. He's able to chat in the middle here. Real good. I think that's a little bit of a psychological warfare there. You know, try to bait your opponent into chatting at the wrong time, something like that. Super Saiyan Wolf coming out once again. Brought a big damage, could be potentially here, but the Wolf getting CC'd hard. There it is, finally. Wolf
Yeah,
able
and
to
then this
connect.
could be a kill here. I don't know if the jump was
Close,
might have been a little
close.
panic there. I don't know if it was necessary.
Yeah, but I think the spark from the Wolf should be able to take him out, so that's going to be a nice advantage for Wolf Guardian there in that match. I think Ultimate should be able to be coming into play pretty soon, at least like 60-second cooldown.
I think the Wolf Guardian one takes a while to charge up, doesn't it?
Yeah, the actual 180-second cooldown ultimate for the Wolf Guardian does take a long time, but the aerial one is an instant effect, so we could see that soon. But the double teleport onto Akumanism coming out.
The Shane just
The
keep him in
ultra
the air.
lift
He
in
can't
the
do
air.
anything here about tab.
He has a nice ground reset again, keeping him from being able to hit the ground. But
Drops the combo, but as soon as he does it, pops the tab and just finishes, and might be able to finish the combo off here. The other tab can't. The assassin doesn't seem to fall off too well, but might be able to get something nice off here. Dodges the thing to do that. Just gonna finish the bleed. Goes right into stealth. He knows exactly where he is. He has. Dumbidiot has a little more of a health advantage here. Might be able to pull something out of this, but the assassin does do a lot of damage, and the assassin pulls off that stock. So, while still a decent amount behind.
real close one there, able to adding the taunt in at the end too. I like a little bit of competitive banter there, so that's good. Wolf easily cleaning up that small sliver. So once again, 2-1 advantage in this for the Wolf Guardian. Just in this particular match, the Assassin still leading the whole series 2-1. So
we might see a game
the
5
Wolf
here, which would be
Guardian
great.
to tie this up to a 2-2. Yeah, if the Wolf Guardian can pull this out, it will be 2-2. So once again, Wolf coming around, the talismans connecting.
Tab down from the assassin. The Wolf Guardian has it up right now, so it's just the big advantage here because it couldn't follow up from the tab. Might using it on the air, avoid having to use the tab.
Yeah, definitely the advantage for the Wolf Guardian coming out here. Tab was used for assassin, so that now being available.
Might have to use it sooner. This combo could finish her off.
Yeah, I believe the tab's down for the Wolf Guardian, so it's gonna be a lot of damage here. A wise choice to back off there after you knew
The
his
bleeds are
combo.
building up, gonna start doing some ship damage. Still a little bit more.
Yeah, just a small amount. I think he's really using to utilize those bleeds for the finisher. I think any Envenom hit would end the game if he has enough stacks, but tab being forced out of the assassin.
The tab
Guardian.
not just to get out of CC, but to avoid the damage. Big eye from it there. He can follow up from it, or is the assassin gonna finish this one off?
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
2-2.
really like that there. Yep.
Assassin's a little bit of ahead right now, though. I mean, Assassin's a little bit behind right now.
Yeah.
One small combo could finish off the Assassin, so he needs to play it very safe here.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard situation to be in. He needs to expend some life in order to close the gap, but he doesn't have the life to expend, so really, he may be waiting for a big cooldown. So
the wolf kid goes from behind, instantly tabs.
Yeah, the tab out coming there from the assassin.
And I think that might
shuriken though. So
the wolf guardian might finish it up here. Oh, dodges out of it. The cat kick from both sides, and we're gonna get a game 5.
Yeah, nice double cat kick response. Sirius the wolf being able to finish up the kill there with the wolf drop. So nice job by the wolf guardian on that map, able to keep a distance, able to control the pace of the match. So 2-2, and this is gonna be the final match.
I noticed a little bit of desync. The spectator isn't the best thing right now, but the desync isn't actually they're not affecting them, but we do see desync from our side though.
Yeah, this is actually just built into the client, so unfortunately not much we can do about that. It'll improve as time goes on. We'll see a little bit of it, but the main information is there, so we'll just look for that. So once again, Wolf Guardian trying to create space, utilizing the map here. I like
as soon as he approaches, the exact instant he dashes out. So I think he has a good idea. The tab came out from the assassin right there.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of an early tab, but
might have been a panic here. This is the final match.
I would like to see the assassin back off for a little bit until tab resets. Looks like he's choosing to do so. He doesn't realize that the wolf is on the other side of the barrier there, so he's actually playing the side where the wolf is not, which is a very smart decision here. Reposition of the wolf. Looks like the wolf guardian realizes that and tries.
Wolf guardian tries to go in there and take the advantage. The assassin seems to be one kind of playing it slower now. I think he might try to go in now and waste the cooldown and waste the tree right there. But
yeah, like I was saying, waiting on the tab for the assassin, so very intelligent play here, utilizing the mat to his advantage. Definitely is going to help him out. Let's see if he can close the gap and execute.
Another tab from assassin. I don't think we've seen a tab from the wolf guardian in this match, have we?
Not too much actually. It's usually as a last resort. The assassin is using his offensively, where the guardian is saving it for
the assassin does
final measure.
The assassin needs to be the one that needs to go in, but the wolf guardian doesn't care. The wolf guardian will let this go on forever.
Yeah, I like the offensive tab from the assassin because he knows that the only way he's going to be able to, in this match is to close the gap and get the combo off. So the higher pace the assassin brings us to, the better it is. If the wolf can slow down the pace, then he's going to have a bigger advantage in the long run, at least until ultimate's hit.
I'm pretty sure this is kind of a stand right now. They're kind of going in circles. I'm wondering if someone's going to say something, or we're going to just going to stand here for a while, waiting for cooldowns. Cat kick just blown right there, but then the wolf misses part of his combo. So I'm wondering, if I was assassin, I might try to go in right now. Know what's going on? Standing on top of the wall, this wolf guardian can't follow up on anything he does. Smart move.
Could be ideal, yeah. Cat's kick does have a low cooldown though, I believe in the 3-second range, so it is up quite often. So it is a very, very melee tool though. So that might not be something to punish on, but definitely some of these bigger cooldowns.
And as you know, we haven't had a first stock yet. These are both players that's both about around half health right now.
Yeah, you can see the pace of the game slowing down. Pressure starting to get to both players as it's a 2-2 match. So, winner of this definitely takes all. First place mainly for the glory, but also for the creds.
Like someone pointed out, they could run out of mana. I don't know if they're going for the mana orbs that often or anything, but mana might eventually be an issue here. Oh,
yeah,
so
it is.
Wolf Guardian says out of mana.
Yeah, I've experienced that same difficulty as well. Again, collecting those MP orbs is a small mechanic on the map that can make a difference. So
some classes not an issue though. Like for Valkyrie.
Certain class it is not. Wolf Guardian it is actually. Depends on how he expends his mana.
Valkyrie gets it back on every spins, and they spin very often, so that is something I have to worry about too. But the Wolf Guardian skills are very strong individually.
Yeah, definitely a lot here. Assassin again trying to.
Oh,
make the
this
most
map
of
does
his
have no
last
pots,
life.
so this could be a disadvantage for the Wolf Guardian holding out too long.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no pots on this map. Okay, well that's just luck of the draw there. So yeah, again for this first one, we just kind of want every rule to go here, so we can kind of see what to improve on in the future. You know, which maps we should or should not use, and other things like that. So we'll definitely take that into effect later. But again, that match was drawn out super long, so mana timer is a factor. Like, you have to realize that. So again, that's up to the Wolf Guardian to execute that correctly in order to blow off the kill.
So the Wolf Guardian might be playing a little more aggressive the rest of the match, because
Yeah.
she knows she can't just run around and wait and start throwing on abilities hoping that one will hit. She has to make them all count.
Yeah, I think this this map will definitely put the pressure on the ranged harassers.
That's that. Wolf Guardian in the corner, and I think that's. I'll drop the combo to stump, kind of screwing it up, and the Wolf, but the shurikens throwing out the barrage of shurikens is going to finish off the stock.
Yeah, nice
And-
shuriken channel there, able to finish up the kill, just making sure that she doesn't get away with that little bit of health. Small advantage here for the assassin, but probably not going to mean too much in the grand scheme of things. So we'll kind of see the wolf or range harassment should be able to finish off the assassin here realistically.
Yep, and right there, avoiding on top of the wall, kind of really hard to hit, using some skills to get around. I don't know if there's worth it, but I think he's trying to get some shit damage out before the next stock.
Oh, it's worth for sure. I mean, nice mechanics here. Like definitely evading a lot of these attacks and trying to draw the most out of this life here.
Again, avoiding very well, like you said. If you can get some nice combo off, the assassin can bring a little bit of advantage to a huge result. So we need this. So I'm interested to see how he's going to play this, because one little small ability will knock him out.
Yeah, any hit should do it here, but the wolf.
They're both
struggling
cast
to
kicks at the
find
same
hit.
time. Start combo tab from the Wolf Guardian
Tab from
and
the wolf. So a successful light there from the assassin. Force the tab out of the wolf. I would look to see if he can
playing more
pressure
aggressive here. You see he's trying to really go
Yeah,
for something.
he is for sure.
Wolf
He's
Guardian's
going
running.
in for blood. A little bit of a misposition from the wolf there, but it's coming back into play. So Wolf Guardian again maintaining the space there, but really close match once again. It looks like it's going to be up to the wolf to just play this patiently, and he does a little bit. Get him stuck in the combo. Talisman's connecting, but he misses the follow-up. Cat kick coming out from the assassin there.
I wonder
Nice
if
fire
cat
spin. Tab force from the Wolf Guardian. Definitely pressure getting on from both
Wolf
sides.
resummon. You probably would have noticed that. This might be the time for the assassin to go in right now. The ideal time.
Yeah, I think the Wolf resummon was for a reposition, so what he was looking
yeah.
was to get the Wolf out of the barrier there. So again, playing it safe, being really careful. Stealth coming into play there. Nice knock up by the Wolf. I think that was the tap.
The cat's kick
assassin.
predict kind of gets some small damage off on the assassin. Can't reposition very well. The Wolf Guardian might get off a pretty nice combo here, but the assassin does have a tab up.
There's the lift up, followed up by damage. If he can keep
And
his
that
on the
might
ground,
finish it off.
Following it up. No, really
No,
close.
there's still a little bit
Assassin
left.
breaking out.
A tab from the Wolf
forced
Guardian.
up. Good damage.
And that's the
coming out.
final. And
Yeah,
the tournament goes to
seriously cleaning it up.
Dumbidiot.
Definitely. Nice job to Dumbidiot there, managing to take first place, despite the mana advantage from the map. So again, he calculates that into his play and makes the most of it. So
Okay, so that was a
definitely
reverse
well
sweep.
done.
That was 2 wins by the assassin, I think, and then a reverse sweep, right?
Yep, those 2 wins by the assassin and a reverse
That was,
interview with Dumbidiot. I think we could arrange that. I think we could.
I would like that. I want to see. I would love to talk to a good Wolf Guardian.
I think that would be up to Dumbidiot though.
If he's willing to, I'm willing to talk. But if he doesn't feel like it, he can go bask in his glory of the EMP he got.
Yeah, definitely. 3,000 cred coming out to Dumbidiot right there. It's, 2,000 cred going to Akumanism for a 2nd place. 3rd place, I believe, going to the other assassin, Aria, if I remember correctly, for 1,000 cred, and everybody else 100 cred.
I'd like to thank Tepheroth for giving me an opportunity to help and commentate on this event. I know I wasn't the best commentator, but I really enjoyed it. I hope that some people enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for filling in last moment, because like I said, we kind of had a bit of a bailout on a few people here and there, so we were able to get it in once we got going here. We did a little pseudo job. Again, this is just for the community. We're trying to build up the PvP scene, so you know, if you compare with our horrible casting, hopefully we'll have a better setup and ideal people with experience next week.
Oh, well, if you ever need someone, I would gladly come back and help out again. I really enjoyed this. Or if you need something else behind the scenes, I'm always here.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe you also stream as well, right, Ebby? So
yeah, twitch.tv/Ebihara1. Someone took Ebihara. They don't stream anymore, but I don't feel like figuring out how to take it.
Feels bad, man. I just told the name. Okay, so let's see. Does Dumbidiot want to do the interview? I can't tell. Chat's getting spammed so hard. We got some rank 1 PvP guy in here, Daquan. Good guy, good guy.
I was hoping to see him.
Sadly, not able to make it, but
yeah.
I'm looking forward to see.
I was hoping to see him. I was hoping to see some Zerker representation, but maybe next time.
Yeah. No. Oh gosh, okay.
Daquan, we get to see some Daquan and Dumbidiot. I'll go.
Alright, this is a follow-up. Okay, we're gonna do a small freelance match here. The winner of the PvP tournament versus Daquan, number 1 on the ladder. So let's do one match here. See how this goes.
Alright.
Definitely here again, seeing the Berserker.
I love the Zerker, like the cancels of all of it, and then they just like spin around. They're insanely fast.
Yeah, strong mechanics here, able to leap around the map. So the mobility from the Berserker very, very high. Ultra state also high. So trying to close the gap a little bit better than the assassin, but we're starting managing to use the cat
dodge
to kind of evade the damage. Follow-up hit on the wolf, using tornado just for a little bit of a safety net once the Berserker closed the gap there. Once again, not too much happening. Berserker trying to close the gap, but not quite able to. Does manage to connect with the wolf, actually interrupting the combo follow-up. Tapping force out from the wolf guardian there as the Berserker continues his onslaught, trying to push forward. Really around.
Oh, and that right there pulling everyone in, that's going to do a decent amount of damage. Could even kill the wolf. But no, the wolf doesn't die. I'm surprised by that. But he does let him set up for a huge combo.
Strong combo, yeah. Oh, like I said, Berserker having the matchup versus Guardian because of the fact that he's able to kill the wolf and stagger the wolf a lot, which leads to a huge advantage because Wolf Guardian takes most of the skills. For
also, you can see the health pool from Berserker it's there.
Oh yeah, Berserker's being one of the few classes that have a large health pool and actually having a healing reach a threshold.
Yes,
as you can see right there. Yeah,
we're getting a decent amount.
Yeah, it's a little bit, so it's up to the wolf to finish the kill, which he does promptly. So if you do let that regeneration play out, it will make a big difference. So nice job to execute that kill while the regeneration's up. So tied 1-1 here. This is again just kind of a free match, fun match here between Wolf Guardian champion Dumbidiot and Daquan, number 1 on PvP. So damage coming in once again. Tab force out by Berserker. Dumbidiot trying to get a little bit out of this life.
He's on the run. It really is. He just keeps, as you would expect from Berserker, just keeps forcing through, and there's very little he can do.
Yeah. Again, this matchup being heavily favored for the Berserker because of the ability to AoE and gap close so quickly.
Awesome.
Wolf Guardian's gonna feel the pressure.
Pretty much constant ultra as well makes it very difficult for the Wolf Guardian to do its thing and just kind of throw him around. Like right now, you can see the Wolf Guardian is throwing out damage, but it's not stopping him, so the combos can't continue. And that's probably going to finish it off.
Oh,
just a sliver of health.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that was the wisest decision, but definitely a little bit.
It is the last stock, though. I think they have to. He has to.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
And it goes to Daquan. Giving us a little bit of
Berserker strength, so again, the matchup's coming into play here. Very, very strong. Quite a good performance from both players, but the pressure you see just being on the Wolf Guardian really, really heavily. But Ebby, I think that'll wrap it up for this. Let's go ahead and exit this lobby here to show a small little advantage there. But Daquan showing his dominance. Definitely strong matchup there. But, however, let me see if we can get an interview from Dumbidiot here.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. Do you have him on Discord?
I may. Let me see.
Well, another thing is a lot of people went in the PvP lobby and are practicing after they lost, so we got a lot of activity. So a lot of people got to play PvP. I know it hasn't been the most active lately, but I hope this will help bring back a lot more life to it.
Yeah. I think with the PvP change that they did to only allow 65 in, it kind of sucked a little bit of the spark out. But again, we're going to be coming with these tournaments weekly, and it should be a pretty good thing. So we'll evolve and we'll change the way it works. We may even see a team battle tournament next week, or perhaps CTF. But just once again, if you're in the KOL Discord, go ahead and check that out. We'll have updates on there as well as in the community Discord and also on the stream. So drop a follow if you want to continue seeing content. And I think that should just about wrap it up for this event. Once again, I'm Tepheroth, and I'll just kind of be running the events. I technically shouldn't be casting, but we'll get some other casters in here next time. And I was joined by Ebihara here, so.
And if you want to check me out on Twitch, again, my Twitch is twitch.tv.ebihara1. I stream whenever I can, but sometimes I do get a little busy.
Yeah, definitely check him out. Some good play there. But once again, congrats to Dumbidiot. #1 in the PvP tournament, prize of 3,000 creds, so that'll be going to him. And we'll see you guys next week with another tournament.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Bye.